This week in Essex, Vermont, affairs, insurance money, and a vicious attack form a cloudy mess of speculation. Welcome to Small Town Murder. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy, yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Whisman.
The yay is music to my ears this week. It's a crazy episode, and we cannot wait to share it with you. Thank you, folks, so much for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your iTunes reviews this week, and whatever that is, Apple Podcast, I like to call it now.
They shake the boat on you.
Who knows? Thank you for those reviews.
Yeah.
And anywhere you review, anywhere you listen, give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say. It's all not for our ego, really.
Name changes, but that goddamn algorithm
It's
is
the
still
same.
there.
It's still funky, and it still needs to be fed with reviews, and it helps drive you up the charts. So if you could do that, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. And if that's not enough for you, if you need to be a superstar,
You can be.
and there's a long list of these people coming up at the end of the show, you can do that extra easily by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports or going over to PayPal and using our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com. There's an easier way to do that than even going to those places.
Right.
You can just go to shutupandgivememurder.com slash whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Just shut up. You're like,
always,
dot what?
I'm always waiting for slashes.
You're always
and
waiting
dots.
for slash small. No, it's not. This is not a commercial. If you go there,
shutupandgivememurder.com.
that's it. You
has
go
all kinds
there,
of shit.
you can find a merch and T-shirts and tickets to the live shows.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
So here's something.
Get your tickets now.
I get a lot of questions about why are tickets $200 to these shows, and I'm like, where the fuck did you
They're
find
not
that?
$200.
And then they send me the link, and I was like, no.
Yeah,
Stop
don't buy
going.
it from there.
Don't buy from those fucking jerks.
Buy right from the.
Go to shutupandgivememurder.com
/live.
There's
and
one.
we have the venues that there are links to the right places that
Right.
won't charge you exorbitant amonts of money.
Go to the calendar. Find the calendar date
Do that.
that's near you.
Please do that. Thank you so much. Go to there and have fun and do that.
Yeah.
Never mind that shit, Jimmy, because we have a lot of craziness to cover here.
Also on that website, there will be new shirts coming out next week.
Oh, yeah, new shirts that you're
Brand
gonna
new
enjoy.
designs. It's
all
gonna be
sorts of
great.
stuff.
Yeah.
Small Town Murder and Crime and Sports.
Right.
So get those and huddle them together and wear them to
the live shows.
The live shows.
Damn
That's
right.
what we're going to do here. So that's the fun thing. We're going to do that. And quick thing, too, before we do the disclaimer here, we're in Vermont this week, okay? Just a spoiler alert for a minute and a half from now. We're in Vermont this week, and I found so many crazy cases that I couldn't choose. It was killing me not to do one and to do the other.
Yeah.
We have to stop this structure of only doing the states all one at a time and then redo. We have to stop that.
Vermont's got too many.
Vermont, there's a bunch of states.
You fucked it up.
Vermont, Florida, they have all these crazy cases, and we won't do the same state all the time, but we don't need to go once a year. And then I go, oh no, there's 4 more cases in Vermont. Was that 4 years from now I can do those cases? No, we're not going to do that. There's not a lot in Wyoming. There's 12 people.
Also,
we'll skip Wyoming once in a while. We'll do that.
Go right the fuck back to New Mexico in maybe 8 episodes.
I had a crazy
I want to
one.
talk about that guy.
I had the other guy there. So never mind all of that shit, though. It doesn't matter. What we're going to do here.
That's the only time I'll ever say we need to go back to New Mexico.
Yeah, I definitely never want to go. Well, it's better than tomorrow. We have to go back to New Mexico tomorrow. No, please. No, please. We have to do the disclaimer at this point. We have to. It's a comedy podcast, everybody. We make jokes. We're comedians. We try our best not to make jokes at the expense of the victims or the victims' families.
Right.
That's how we play this because we're assholes.
But
we're not scumbags.
That's right.
That's honestly what we're doing here. Right. We're not trying to be dicks.
No.
We're not trying to exploit. We think it's more of an exploit if you slowly describe the murder porn. Yeah. We feel like that's way creepier than us trying to make jokes around a murder. We don't make jokes about a murder, but we make jokes around it, about the characters involved, these people, weirdo small town nutcases or a police force that's bumbling. Or
it's not funny that a man was forced to blow his kid.
No.
It's funny that there's a fucking cult involved, though.
That's funny, and the things that go on around it. And then you go, ooh, this is gross for 5 minutes. Then we get back to jokes.
Right.
So that's we think that's better. And if you're on board with that, well, you're a smart person.
Hang with us.
Hang with us. And you know what you can say?
Yeah.
Say it with us now. Loud and proud, unless you're in like a really conservative office, and then say it just to yourself very quietly, or maybe in the bathroom.
Right.
That might be worse. If someone's screaming what we're about to say from a bathroom stall, you're going, what the fuck did they eat last night? So use your own discretion, but shout it if you can.
Yeah.
Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this. Yeah. Let's go on a trip, Jimmy.
I would love to.
We're going on a trip. We're doing it right now. As the great Red Man once said.
Yeah.
Drop it on the 1. Yeah. Fuck the 2, 3. Let's do this shit, Jimmy Whisman.
He also said, if you find a bag of weed on the floor, motherfucker, what the fuck you gonna do? Pick it up, pick it up.
Yeah,
that's what you're gonna do.
That's what I mean. He's a great man.
He was.
He really is a brilliant man.
Because he's still around.
He really is. And he's a goddamn hilarious. Never mind. I'm gonna say
it's just bananas that he's not in Wu-Tang. Why is he an outcast?
If Tupac had 2% of Redman, he'd still be alive, and he would have $300 million in the bank. 'Cause he'd be a movie star and everything else. Anyway, moving on. We're going to Vermont. We're heading out from dusty New Mexico, and we're the vistas and the mesas and whatever the fuck else was there, plateaus and just flat red shit. We're going northeast, baby.
People in New Mexico are furious with how much I hate them.
Yeah, fuck you. Sorry. You live in New Mexico. Right. You know what? We live in Arizona. Yeah. It's just as horrible, and if anybody says it's horrible, we go, yeah, it's horrible. Yeah. We're not mad at them for it. We go, yeah, I know you've been here, haven't you? That's what we'd say.
We are New Mexico hotter. That's it.
That's
and more
all.
people.
And more people, so we've had,
more rocks, less dust.
It's a little deeper gene pool. We'll put it that way. Vermont is a different story.
Okay.
We're going to Vermont. Vermont is all small towns, pretty much. I think the biggest city in Vermont is 42,000 people or some crazy shit like that.
I don't know shit about Vermont.
Vermont is a strange, odd, weird...
That's where Bernie's from, right?
Yeah. It's like a giant dairy farm mixed with hippies. It's a weird place. Everybody smokes weed. It's a very strange place. I've been to Vermont as a kid, and I was just like, this is the strangest... It's Super Troopers is very accurate.
That was based there too.
That's based in Vermont, and that was like, it's weird up there. It feels like that. Like it's just weird. It's a weird place, Vermont. This is in northwestern Vermont too. Okay. This is even farther removed from any sort of normal civilization. Okay. This is up near basically Canada.
Vermont is not on the coast, correct?
No. Okay. New Hampshire is over above Massachusetts and all that.
And so it's
Vermont,
west of that.
Yeah, Vermont is wedged between New York and Massachusetts.
Got it.
South of Canada.
Okay.
North of New Jersey and Pennsylvania, I guess. I don't know.
But south of Maine.
West of Maine. So you're getting it, Jimmy. He can almost draw a map.
Well, the best part about that is that everything's south of Maine.
I'm going to give you a Denny's placemat and some crayons, and you're going to fucking dominate that shit, dude. You're going to dominate it.
It's just the West. I could pick those states out fucking lickety-split. But the east side of this fucking country is so fucked up.
They wedge a lot of them in there. They wedge a bunch in there. There's norths and souths. Yeah. You really got to be on your toes there.
I just don't get the how they figured out the layout. I realize that Mississippi really fucking put a solid border on a lot of states.
You could tell that it was argued over a lot back east, how jagged everything is. It's like, well, my farm's here, so you're not putting that shit there. Well, we'll jut it out away from there and over to here.
I'm a proud West Virginian,
so
sir.
I will not be a part of your horse shit over here in this state. So this county that it's in it's Chittenden County. It borders New York. So it's the far western, and it's like the second county from the top in northernness.
It's one of the last to be except for instead of New York.
Almost Canada.
Almost.
So close. So close. It's 20 minutes outside of Burlington, Vermont, which is their big metropolis, which is like 42,000 people.
That's their biggest?
That's their biggest, I think.
Is that the capital?
I believe so. Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
And then 2 hours and 45 minutes to Albany, New York, and about 3.5 hours to Boston. So you're fucking up there.
Yeah.
That's it. You're in Vermont.
That's a long trip to fun.
It is. Zip code, it's a long trip away from flannel.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
It's a long trip from bad Irish fucking Boston accents.
Well, yeah, you're going to get to them.
Right.
Well, you're going to get them fast.
And that's like the destination. That's fucked up.
Well, that's what they want to flee to there, right. I feel like maybe. Zip code 05451, area code 802. It's a big place, 39 square miles, and not a lot of people in these 39 square miles, as we'll get to. The town motto, come sample our maple flannel. That's very strange. That's not true. Jimmy looked at me like, they have maple flannel? You bought that for about delicious. 3 seconds. You were like, what? You looked at me like maple flannel. Like, that's a taste and a taste and a design together. They don't go together.
And maybe a smell.
This is weird.
You can almost use all your senses to absorb that.
I saw you processing. Is that a plus on the flannel if it smells like maple? Like, is that good? Why is that a thing? And you're like, wait a second, that's not right.
That's just wrong. Somebody that went hard at IHOP. That's all that is.
Real hard to the hoop at fucking IHOP. They filled out that whole place, Matt. They had it down. So, town was incorporated June 7th, 1763.
Okay.
So we're talking pre-America.
Yeah.
This is when we were still England light.
Right.
There. It was named after. You know what it's named after?
No.
The Earl of Essex.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, the Earl is a bewigged douchebag.
I don't even know what an earl does.
He's a bewigged douchebag. Yeah. He is bewigged. Yeah. That's what he does with himself.
Perfect.
You sit there and you wear that wig, and you're going to look fantastic. Look very feminine, but do horrible things to women.
That's a good point. How does that make you emasculate?
I don't know what they were thinking there.
Emasculate.
Put this powder on your face.
Right.
Yeah. There you go.
Fuck?
There you go. Now go.
What's the logic behind that?
Now
Make yourself look as much like a woman as possible, and we will respect you more.
Absolutely.
That's fucking crazy.
You more. Well, the Earl,
but don't go so far that you chop off that penis, because then we'll beat the living shit out of you.
Or if you get caught with dudes, also back then that was a problem, even though most of them like dudes anyway. The Earl of Essex is a title in the Peerage of England, which was first created in the 12th century by King Stephen of England.
Okay.
So this is a hardcore bewigged douchebag. It's been recreated 8 times from its original inception, beginning with the first Earl upon each new creation. So you're the Earl 1, whatever. Possibly the best known of these Earls is Thomas Cromwell, who was chief minister to King Henry VIII.
Okay. And that guy was a monster.
So interesting shit going on here. There's a current Earl of Essex. They have one now.
What?
Right this minute. Paul Capel. He is the 11th Earl of Essex. He's a retired school teacher from Lancashire.
You could be a teacher and be an Earl.
Does he have to wear the wig?
Right.
The kids would mock him unmercifully. I feel like they really would here. So apparently, though, shortly after the Revolution, American Revolution in this area, Ira Allen was here. He's the brother of Ethan Allen, the furniture man, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that who? It's really
Ethan Allen. Yeah, it's Ethan Allen.
I wonder if that's is it the furniture guy?
Yeah, it's the same fucking guy. How many? Yeah. That's why you got to be in from the ground floor to get a furniture empire like that, Jimmy. You should see Jonathan Pier one.
Yeah.
He's unmatched back then. He was owned all the land.
Yeah.
Did horrible things to Indians.
So many just crooked trees everywhere.
That's what it is. The worse you were to the natives, the better your business flourished in the future. Anything now that's a big thing, they were terrible to the natives. It's just how it was. They sucked the force from them. Awful people. So these terrible Allen brothers, I don't know if they were terrible. I'm sure they couldn't have been nice. They had to be. This guy constructed a dam at a bend of a water fill in the Winooski River between Essex Junction and Williston. Essex is a town, big town, like 39 square miles. And then there's Essex Junction, which is kind of technically part of Essex, but it's like a little neighborhood. But it's sort of on its own. It's sort of not. It's like Hong Kong before China took it back. It's like kind of independent, but a part of it. It's
just around.
Weird. It's hanging out there, and they're the same thing, basically. You're both named fucking Essex, and you're in goddamn Vermont.
You're the same thing.
Everyone looks the same. Fuck off.
Annex it and fucking call it good.
It's not like one of them are Palestinians and one of them are Muslim sect and the other one is Israel. It's not what we're talking about here. You're connected. You're not
fighting over oil.
Jesus fucking Christ. It's literally over services. Do you want the rural areas to have? Do you want to pay for their fire service and shit like that, and it's silly. Anyway, there was a sawmill there that sent logs down the Winooski to Lake Champlain. This is Hubbell's Falls, which was it's kind of where the industry, I guess, kind of started in this town. It was formed, the Essex Junction was formed within the town of Essex in 1892, and it was formed to provide services to the villagers, the rural villagers. It's weird. They formed this little thing. They're like, we'll put all our services in one little area, and then they wanted to be on their own. There's a long story, but they got a fire department, and electricity was brought to Essex Junction in 1893.
Great.
So before that, no electricity. You're just in the forest.
Well, you're relying on a fucking river to make sure that it gets the logs to somewhere.
Yeah, is it floating? All right. They just watch them.
Fascinating. Like,
put their hand over their eyes. There you go. All right, then.
What
Hope
happens
the beavers
when they
don't get them.
Right. What happens when they get stuck in a tide pool? Or let's say you're a smart guy and you realize that's what they do, and there's a big position of open water between beginning and end.
If we're being, I don't think they float them down one log at a time, probably. I would assume they made a big barge maybe and brought it down. I don't think they were like firing them down there. Just
that's
logs.
The way I see it.
That's the way I saw it too. Like a giant awful log flume basically ride where there's just logs flying in there. Guys just throwing whole trees in the river. They float downstream.
And that's how the log flume ride started.
Yeah. And it flows right from the stream into a saw and comes out a chair on the other side. That's what
toothpicks.
Yeah, toothpicks and all sorts of things that are ready to use. Paper.
In a perfect world, that's how it should be.
That would be the easiest way.
In a cartoon world, that's how it definitely is.
Isn't that sad that as grown men, we still see industry as cartoons? Isn't that
fucking Woody Woodpecker is
fucking
doing this
pathetic?
Shit.
Yeah, that's really, really sad. They got a trolley service in 1895.
After electricity.
You need the electricity to have a trolley. Police department in 1896 to guard the trolley that's run on the electricity.
Yeah.
You got to have all of that. And then a library because you needed something to read on the trolley from your electricity while you're going to the police station. So
how about that? Electricity just fucking starts everything.
Once there's electricity, and then all public water was made available in 1900. That would have been number one for me. Let's figure out where to get our shit away from us. Number one, let's get all of our shit away from us, and then we'll turn the lights on. I don't care if I can see as long as I know there's no shit here. I'm much better off not seeing.
And also, electricity makes water pumps. And why did it take you 7 years to get that shit going?
So you had lights before you had plumbing, so you got to see how shitty everything was the other problem.
And it took you 7 years to clear that shit out?
To clear it up. 7 years. I'm sorry, the library. I love a good library, but
fantastic.
Give me water first before the goddamn library. Everyone was sitting in the library going, I got to go. And they're like, oh, there's nowhere for you to go here.
Fucking hit the corner.
We need running water. Right. This is not going to work here.
Well, now that we've got lights, we can see what you're doing, too.
No,
this
Jesus
is not good.
Christ.
This is terrible.
Put that French art book down. What is wrong with you? Put it down. I know the Renaissance period's very erotic. I understand. So, Jesus Christ. So, they built a large brick school in 1912, which later was Essex High School and is now an elementary school. So it's still there serving as a school from 1912. 1957, IBM arrived, the company IBM, which is a huge deal. I'm from, in New York, like the Hudson Valley area where I'm from, lower Hudson Valley, like Wappingers, that area, is IBM is like the major employer there.
That's
like my dad worked for IBM. Half my friends' dads worked for IBM. It was just like a place where people could go get a fucking job. They had our school was just a crisscross of high tension lines between IBM plants.
Really?
It was cheap land between like 4 IBM plants, like triangulated between 3 of them with high tension lines.
That's interesting.
And it was a swamp. So they're like, put a school there. That's a good place for a school.
That's where they can learn.
Tons of people have cancer that are like, I know so many people who died when they're 26 of weird cancer. It's like, wonder why. I don't know. Gee.
Weird.
So thanks IBM.
Yeah. Upstate New York has Kodak, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
I'm sure that's poisoning people too.
There's nuclear waste and Indian Point's up there. It's a fucking disaster.
What chemicals make like pictures? You know what I mean? That stuff is dangerous as fuck.
That can't be good.
And people are like dunking their hands in that stuff
with big kitchen gloves on. Not even like little ones. Big rubber.
Like the ones that you hold chemical experiments with when you're doing like those gloves. Yeah. They're like making pictures with that shit.
And I know nothing about that at all. I know nothing. They went back and forth. The town. Apparently there was a merger between the junction and the town here, and then they passed this, and then it changed in 2006 where there was a merger passed. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
With a town and a village. I'm so sick of these fucking towns fighting with each other. It's, you know what? It's charming when it happens in 1885 and they steal each other's records and they set the other, office on fire from the other. We're going to be the county seat. That's fun. This is horseshit. In 2006, you're fucking suing each other.
They're still fighting.
They're still fighting.
See, that's
2006,
that's
2007.
Why courts are fucked up.
Yeah. I'm not even going to talk about it. Fuck these people. I'm not even going to give them the fuck. I have vote counts. Yeah. They have vote counts posted of 6-1 said this and that. Shut the fuck up.
2006, they should have just told them somebody burn the other one down.
Yeah, that's it. It's on.
One that has the most wood still standing wins.
War.
Right.
War between towns. Let's get it on. I don't think that's probably good. But you know what? At this point, fuck these people. Do it. Take up arms. Don't take up arms, by the way. This is not a call to arms, I swear to God. People in this town, population up, it's up 27% since 1990, all the way up to 20,946.
That's great.
That's spread over 39 square miles. It's very rural. I mean, when I do the real estate report, all these houses, they're not like, with a little house next to them in a cul-de-sac. It's like a fucking house and there's nothing around, plenty of shit around it. I don't know.
Densely populated.
Woods, lots of woods. It looks like you definitely have to compete with animals. Like, if you came out of your house and you're going to your car, you're going to look both ways, not for people to rob you, but for like skunks and shit. Yeah. Looks like one of those places.
The raccoons from Great Outdoors tip your trash cans over every night.
Having a fucking field day. They love hot dogs.
So many lips and assholes.
Fuck. Lobster tails. They must be from Chicago. They're fucking on top of that shit.
That was maybe the greatest sidebar of that movie.
That was fantastic.
Was just the raccoons recurring constantly throughout the movie.
And John Candy's constant fight. Puts the rocks on them. That'll do it. Because they go about their lives, and then the raccoons have this whole other fucking thing going on. It's like, who cares what they're doing? Right. We have garbage to eat.
Didn't they say something like they put rocks on the trash cans? They think that's going to stop us?
Yeah, they think that's going to stop us. Like, they're wise-ass raccoons. See, that's what I miss.
Yeah, that's why cinema today sucks. Because that stuff is fucking...
We just need to resurrect John Candy from the grave, I feel like.
Figure out how Fuck getting Ted Williams' head off the tuna can.
I don't care about Ted Williams.
Leave him alone.
John Candy's a national treasure.
That's what we need.
Yeah, okay.
They better not have incinerated that big fuck.
I think they probably did.
That's a lot.
Or he's buried in Canada somewhere, frozen deep in the tundra, and we can't get to him anyway.
Fingers crossed, babe, because if Jurassic Park is for real, we can figure that out.
We can get him back.
Out
you never know.
Make a new fat guy.
Let's give it a shot. I know.
He was the greatest.
He was the fucking greatest.
Genius.
God damn it. Funny as shit.
Yeah.
Just a nice fucking happy. You can't not like John Candy.
Right.
If you say you don't like John Candy, I fucking hate you. You're an asshole. You're an asshole. Right. You probably kill people. You're probably a serial killer. Most of the people we've talked about don't like John Candy. Yeah. That's what I'm going to look for now in my research. Did they like John Candy?
What's their opinion on the Candy Man?
Okay, well, we know what this guy's going to be about. We know who's going to do the killing in this one, don't we?
The man at the end of his life was so big, and he was in a movie where he rode a horse, and he made that shit movie actually decent to watch, just because he's fantastic.
Anyway. He's the best.
He is.
Age
Cool
here.
Running's better, too.
He makes everything better. God damn it.
Everything's better because of Candy.
It's the truth. I felt bad for him in JFK. Never mind. Okay, we can talk about John Candy all night. John Candy episode of Small Town Murder. I wish he was murdered. We'd do a whole series on him.
If
he's going to die anyway.
Town.
So that'd be great. So median age here is about 3 years higher than the average. It's about 40 here. It's a little bit older, and all these towns in Vermont are kind of a little bit older. Most small towns are full of older people. Yeah. People who can leave and have the upward spryness to get the fuck out of there leave generally, and they leave the elderly behind to rot. That's how it works.
How can we get away from this old bastard?
That's how it works, man. Yeah, Grandpa's bumming me out. I gotta get the fuck out of here. So male, female, there's a few more females than males. It's about average, though. There's nothing crazy. More married people than not married people, a little higher than average, which you kind of get with the older people most of the time. Yeah. But there's less widows here than normal. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what that's about. The cost of living here is a little high. We'll get to maybe if your significant other dies off, maybe you move somewhere cheaper. I have no idea. Mm-hmm. Racial breakdown of this town. Vermont, shockingly, 92.5% white.
That's high.
That's Vermont. Yeah. Vermont is a very white state. Mm-hmm. That I will say. 2.16% black. Okay. So Vermont is basically like a cow. Yeah. It's white and there's like 2-3 black spots on it if you look real close. That's Vermont.
Each town, they're just, the blacks are in different areas.
Every cow, you're like, that cow's like 2.16% black.
That one's ear is black. That one's tail is black.
That's what it is. That's Vermont. Just like Ben and Jerry's, which is what I think of when I think of Vermont, and they have that cow. So automatically, that's my connection.
Perfect.
Once again, fucking cartoons is what I think about. With logs going, a cow riding one. 2.5% Asian, so about half the normal population of Asians. 1.66% Hispanic. They have not made it that far yet. Not border to border over there. They haven't gotten.
It's a long track.
No, it's normally 17%. So that's very, very few Hispanics. Here, religion in this town, it's East Coast, it's usually a little lower, except if you get like these pockets in Massachusetts or something where it'll be like 87% religious and everybody's Catholic. Here, though, it's 39.6% religious. So lower than the average, about 50-50 is the average. Mostly Catholics, again. Catholics are the Baptists of the North.
That's true.
As we all know, about almost 26% Catholic.
I'm interested in the North having just low populations of Spanish folks or Mexican folks. It's just
New York doesn't. Like New York has a lot. It's the urban areas there they kind of go to. In Vermont, there is just not a lot of. It's not very urban there.
There's not many Louis and Clarks.
No. You go there for work if you come in as an immigrant. That's great. Not a lot of Louis and Clarks going all the way cross country.
Sorry.
That's quite all right. I don't mind that at all.
I'd like to see that someday.
Yeah, that would be good. A Louis and Clark. I think that's kind of what's going on every day.
Fingers crossed.
I think.
Just expand it, babe.
They're finding their way.
Get those beige babies everywhere.
Yeah, Vermont. Yeah, Vermont. There's not a lot of them because
they could use some.
0.6% LDS.
Yeah.
They'll find their way there. Yeah. It's cold. They will find their way there. 1% Jewish.
Oh.
A full 1%.
How about that?
Everybody Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila.
Raise somebody up on a chair.
Fuck, I'm so happy. Amazing. I think it's our first time. Yeah. Right now you can't see it in the studio, but there's streamers coming down, lights and balloons.
There's a Star of David in the ceiling spinning.
I set this up. It took a while, I got to say. It cost me about $300 for all these decorations, but I think it's worth it. Yeah. I think that right there was well worth it.
You kicked off Nagila Hava and all these dreidels fell.
It was awesome, cool. Man. So we're going to have a party after this. 0.2% Islam, not much there. Democratic in this town, mostly politically. About 70% Democrat in this town.
Wow, that's heavy.
That's heavy. 28% Republican. That's this town too it's a kind of an artsy, craftsy kind of a. You wouldn't expect that people would be real conservative here. I would say the schools here, they're very proud of their schools here.
Yeah.
So I looked some shit up, and they spend more per student by like $4,000 here. There's 13 students per teacher.
That's great.
That's amazing.
That's incredible.
In my high school, there was like 35 kids in a fucking class, and they were all horrible, throwing shit and yelling.
Didn't give a fuck about
like, whatever. You're all lost causes anyway. That's pretty much what they thought of all of us.
Yeah.
So anybody who's not in the honors classes, you're going to work at IBM anyways. You might as well just trudge across the swamp follow the power line till you get there.
You probably already got cancer. That's what that knows.
So you might as well just work there. So unemployment rate in this town is 2.8%, which is excessively low.
Yeah.
It's about half the national average, which is it's impressive, I got to say. And the household income here is a little bit higher. It's usually about 53,000 is the median in the United States. Here it's 73,000.
Wow.
So it's about $20,000 higher.
Is their taxes heavy up there?
The taxes are a little bit high up there, but I mean it's not that much, not to make up that kind of difference. Yeah, not $20,000 heavy, but they're more. But I mean that's what you get when you get 13 pupils per student, and you got to pay for that.
That's so great.
That costs money. There's more manufacturing jobs here than in normal places. There's a few more healthcare and that sort of thing there also, and there's a university in Burlington too. So I think that has something to do with it too. There's a lot of people probably working at the university. There's a lot more education jobs.
Okay.
Now, cost of living here, we said it's a little bit high. 100 is average par, normal. Here it is 124.
That's not so bad.
Not terrible.
In the Northeast.
No, and it's all housing. The median home cost here is $272,600.
Median is almost $300,000.
Yeah, that's a little bit high. Most of the houses are in the about 41% of them are in the $200,000 to $300,000 range, and then a lot from 3 to 4. And if that is has convinced you,
it's a motivator,
that you need a maple flannel right now, you need to wrap it around yourself, we have for you. And I'm going to do our first, not a sponsor, but this person sold our goddamn house in a fucking week for us. So it's brought to you by Jennifer Runyon of ROI Properties in Phoenix, who sold my house.
Way to go, Jen.
And made it so I don't have to pay for it empty every month. So thank you so much. This is the Essex, Vermont Real Estate Report. We have a 2-bedroom average apartment house, whatever, 2-bedroom to rent is about $1,720 a month.
My Christ.
It's about $500 more than the national average. So
$1,700
it's pricey.
A month.
It's pricey, yeah. I found a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,612 square foot house. It looks like many people were murdered there and stored possibly in the basement or fruit cellar or whatever they have. Looks scary. $255,000 for this.
$1,700 a month.
For this, for this slice of heaven here. And it looks like it's in the woods. It's frightening. I found a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,210 square foot house. It's nicer. This one's looks like it's got a nice porch on it and shit. Okay. This one's pretty nice. $312,500. So getting pricey. And then I found a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 3,600 square foot house. This one's real nice.
It's a good one.
Nice porch that goes all the way around the thing. It looks it looks like a movie. This house. It doesn't look like a real setting. And
like a house from fucking House Guest with Steve Martin.
Yeah, exactly. That's beautiful, what it is. Like Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
But was that the one with Goldie Hawn? Or was that Sinbad? It doesn't matter. Yeah, Sinbad was Phil Hartman. Yeah. Okay, moving on. $459,000.
Amazing.
So that's this does it's a nice house, I guess. So, but you gotta pay that much to live in Vermont. I don't know. You got to really like Vermont.
I don't know if you've got money though, and that's a pretty good sized town. If you've retired and you got a good nest egg, that's great.
It's all right.
Love to have a big ass house somewhere.
I would love it too. Things to do.
Yeah.
In this house, the Harriet Farnsworth Powell Museum is located there. Doesn't that sound exciting?
No.
It's a museum. It's housed in a former two-room schoolhouse. It includes a collection of costumes, school items, and local memorabilia.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
That doesn't excite you, Jimmy?
No.
If that doesn't get your fucking juices flowing and your dick a raging torrent of blood.
If it did, and
what
it's
I have
in a
for you,
schoolhouse, I should be arrested.
Yeah, you should be. While you look at school items and local memorabilia. Ooh, look at that fucking maple spout. That's something right there. Well, if that doesn't get you, this will. The Vermont Quilt Festival. Holy shit, get quilting. It's New England's oldest and largest quilt festival.
I do like a quilt.
Both. Celebrating 43 years in 2019 they will be.
Hold on.
43 years of quilting.
The festival is, okay, all right. I was like, wait a minute. They've been
quilting
for 43. What are they doing?
The prices here, a one-day pass, $12.
That's a deal.
$12, 2 days for 22, 3 days for 32, 3 days of quilts.
Who wants to do that?
That's a lot of quilts, man. You got to really be into fucking quilts.
I don't even want to do Disneyland for 3 days.
They have the Best Quilt Outside the USA award.
What is that?
Best Miniature. A miniature quilt? The fuck is the point of that?
That's called a fucking napkin.
And finally, the Governor's Award for the Best Vermont Quilt, which is fantastic.
What does a fucking Vermont quilt look like?
Maybe it's got to be in the shape of Vermont.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'll bet
it's got to smell like maple syrup and be made out of flannel. I don't know what the fuck it is.
It does feel the burn on
Feel the burn. That is BERN for people outside the United States, and you have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. Moving on.
Call back to a few years ago when a dick had one.
It's interesting. So, crime rate in this town. Property crime is about 15% lower than the average. And violent crime, the Mount Rushmore of crime, the murder, rape, robbery, assault, is about a third less than average. This is a safe town.
Every week I start looking at that mountain going, which are you?
Which are you, sons of bitches? This is about a third. This is a safe town. It's known as a safe town. They have Country Living magazine ranks it as one of their safest towns.
43 years of quilting, James. Of
that's
course
what I mean.
Safe.
It's a quilting town. They don't have a festival. It's like you go in the streets with your dirt bikes and drink beer. That's not their festival. They have 54-year-old women.
That sounds amazing.
Quietly quilting.
I want that dirt bike and beer festival.
I made some hot chocolate if you'd like some. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's a really
polite.
nice. That's a really nice pattern you have there. Thank you.
Isn't that floral?
They go back and forth with each other. Is that the state of? Yes, it is the state of Vermont. Thank you.
Every patch is the state of. They make a square. I made them into a square.
Or you can do a pancake because they like maple syrup. Yeah. But you have to have the pat of butter. It has to look like it. Yeah, it has to really look like it. Well, let's talk.
A circle quilt? It's a pancake.
It's a pancake. You know how it goes. It smells like maple syrup. I thought it should be a pancake. Everything fucking smells like maple syrup. That's why I don't think they can help it.
The whole thing's made of maple flannel. The whole damn thing.
They've been trying to figure out where that smell is coming from. That should be their state motto. Vermont, wondering what that smell is for the last 300 years. Is that maple? It smells like maple. I don't know. Could be. Let's talk about some people who did not have such a nice time here.
Okay.
Or one person that didn't have not such a nice time here. Let's talk about a couple. Nice married couple. Let's talk about Rebecca and Michael Dunray. How do you say this? Durenleau.
Okay.
Durenleau? Durenleau.
Yeah.
Durenleau.
Durenleau?
Durenleau.
Oh,
let's call it Durenleau.
It's Durenleau.
Duren,
That's French.
Okay.
That's some French shit.
Durenleau.
Right?
Yeah, fucking beats me. You're asking me what the origin of this fucking name. Right? Huh?
I don't know.
I have no goddamn
It's got to be Durenleau.
It's Durenleau. We're going to call it Durenleau. Okay. Well, they're a married couple anyway. They're not brother and sister.
Okay.
This is Rebecca and Michael Durenleau. They're a married couple. We're going to go back. We're going to catch them in the early 80s. Okay. So we'll go back in time and we're spinning phone booth going and all that shit.
Fucking and lightning bolts.
Bill and Ted and everything. Yeah. You know how that goes. Clocks are spinning.
There's George Carlin.
Holy crap.
I missed it,
sir. Damn it. Shit, I should have saw him in Vegas that time when I was there. Tickets were $60. It was too expensive. Sorry, George. Fuck. I messed up, man.
You really did.
But they're married. They're married in the early 1970s. They have 2 children. Their kids are Jason, who is born in 1972. And then they have a daughter named Jennifer, born in 1975. Okay. They live in Swanton, which is nearby about 30 miles away from Essex. They lived there for 18 years. They are a boring Vermont. They are NPR.
Yeah.
In real life is what they are. Like, just thrown into a house. I feel like this is
Jennifer and Jason.
Jennifer and Jason are the kids. Rebecca and Michael, 18 years in a small town in Vermont.
Kids, both J's.
They eat so much Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
It's ridiculous.
He's a little guy, by the way.
Really?
He's a little tiny dude. He's like 5'4". He's 135 pounds.
Yeah.
He's a real small guy, which will come into play later on. We think Jimmy's like, I like that about him. I like that. Good. Stick with it, buddy. You can make it.
It's a tough life.
Work on your jumping, man. You're going to get up to that. You're going to reach the top shelf. You can get there.
You're going to ask your wife for a lot of help out of the freezer. That's what you're going to be doing.
Things have to happen.
If you like pizza pockets.
Yeah, I found out, by the way, last night. I discovered that I am officially too old.
You're out.
So this is my first too old. I'm too old to eat 30 pizza rolls at 3:00 in the morning and then go directly to bed. That is not okay for me anymore. I'll wake up feeling like shit if I do that now. I used to be able to do that.
That's the worst. No, you should never be too old to eat 30 pizza pockets.
No, I'm going to push it back to 2:30 and try. I will figure out what my threshold is. Don't get me wrong.
Where's the time limit that I can have 30?
And when can I push it up to 40? You never know. When I'm going to have that whole fucking small bag. I'll do it, goddammit.
Do you do the oven or do you do the microwave?
Oven's the only way.
Really?
I'll wait the 13 minutes. I'm not fucking around with this microwave shit.
Because 2 minutes is all I got.
No. I overcook them in the oven. They're all crispy on the outside.
Around the edges.
Oh, Jesus.
They're so rad.
Yeah, oh my God.
You don't need to dip them in anything. They're such a perfect meal.
They're a perfect food.
They're amazing.
Unbelievable. So I believe these people, the Durenlows, probably loved pizza rolls as well. A nice American family liking pizza rolls, living in Vermont.
As long as the wife's home and he's not home alone because he can't reach them.
No, that's true. Yeah, they're all the way in the freezer. He's like, damn it, we need one of those freezers that's down below.
Why do we always get the high-pitched voices? God damn it.
I don't know why that is.
It sucks.
I don't know why that is. I blame the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
sorry, that's what I blame. But he pops
and
out.
And every movie ever, when anybody shrinks, the voice has to be high.
He's like, kids, Jennifer, get over here. Will you get those pizza rolls out of there for me? My 8-year-old daughter, please.
Jennifer, Jason, stand on each other's shoulders and get that shit for me.
Both of you stand on my shoulders and we can all reach. Oh, wait, get a trench coat. Hold on. I want to go to the bar. Get a trench coat. Let's go, kids.
I'm going to Little Rascals my way into getting a beer today. And now back to the show.
Now, they're a normal couple. They never get in any trouble. They're not like they don't have a meth lab in the back. They don't, they're not doing anything crazy. Right. They don't owe Colombian drug lords a bunch of money. Right. There's no seedy underside to this, but at night, then they're doing this and they have, they're actually coyotes running the 2% of Hispanics in the town through their yard illegally up to Canada to sell to wealthy people to work in their homes. That's not what they're doing. There's not importing Asian women in
you can't do
crates like The Wire season 2. None of that shit.
When you're too tall or too short, you can't do criminal activity because you stand out either way.
It's true. I can't be a criminal.
No,
I'm too tall to be a criminal.
I'm on the verge.
You could blend right
there.
in. You could blend right in. I feel like you're still average height. You're still okay. You're in the range of 2 more inches and you're fucked. You're going to get
grab
caught
a little bit of attention because I talk like an asshole.
Yeah, me. They're tall Italian guy. Right. There's not a lot of them.
Let's have a talk.
6'4" Guinea. There's one of them around here. You're going to find them. Yeah, you'll find them. Don't worry.
Bend over, sir. Cough.
So, what are we, Ben Cousins here?
I don't know.
That's a crime and sports reference. Now, Rebecca, the wife, she had a little brush with the law, but nothing much. She had a DWI, which is DUI in most places. DWI in 1979. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know. That's what she was driving around drunk in the late 70s. Yeah. That was... I feel like you had to be real shit-faced in the late 70s.
You had to almost crash.
Yeah, before you had to be sleeping on the side of the road with your hazards going and your doors open before they would be hey, otherwise they'd just shake you and be can you make it home? Can you get home?
Follow me.
Let's go.
I'll follow you.
Get home.
You got to be in a ditch with your pants around your ankles and you passed out taking a piss or something.
Yeah, before they come over.
It's got to be a fucking hazard to society.
really
Otherwise,
does.
They're just whatever.
So they carry on this relationship, obviously. They've lived there, like I said, for 18 years, 2 children, picturesque couple from the outside, you would imagine, until the early 80s. Mid-1984, Rebecca begins to have an affair. She has an affair with a man named Harmon Olmsted.
Yeah.
Starting in 1984.
Not a handsome man.
Harmon Olmsted.
He better be a handsome man.
He sounds like he wears overalls to court.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? He sounds like...
The name alone is you can say it with your lips together.
Yeah. Harmon Olmsted.
Yeah, you don't even have to really enunciate anything.
He chews straw while he wears overalls in court, and his hair is incapable of growing beyond a flat top. Right. It's just formed to a flat top. That's all he has. You can say
that name through your teeth, and it sounds exactly the same.
He sounds Amish, for fuck's sake. He has a beard and no mustache, Harmon Olmsted. I'm going to go right out on a limb. Beard and no mustache.
His name is almost Homestead.
It's almost so bad. It's almost Homestead. Right. Olmsted. Almost Stead. That's what it is.
It's so bad.
Harmon. So mid-1984, they start having an affair. Mm-hmm. Now, I say they start having an affair, not just she has an affair, because he is also married.
Oh.
So they're having an affair.
Harmon got 2 chicks to fuck him?
Harmon Olmsted got 2 chicks to fuck him, which is amazing.
Yeah.
He must, because they both, the wife thinks he's a great guy, and this one Rebecca falls hard for him.
Wow.
I mean, falls hard for him. They start in June having an affair. August of 1984, she files for divorce.
Now.
2 kids.
Right now.
Yeah, and we're talking with a 12-year-old son and an 8-year-old, 9-year-old daughter and a husband, and they've lived together, all that. She says, 2 months with this guy. Yeah. That Harmon is swinging. He is a fucking...
What a monster.
I mean, that's Harmon when he throws down on the table.
What a monster.
That's Harmon when he sits down to dinner right there. That's it. I mean, he must be a fucking beast, this Harmon.
It's got to be knocking things over accidental at this point. Is he a big guy?
He needs special pants.
Do we have size on him?
I think he's 6 foot tall, Harmon.
She's not enough of the tiny fella.
Yeah, he's not a huge guy, but compared to
there's the
Michael,
curse.
Whatever.
There's the curse of my life that women find somebody that surprisingly fits them a little better.
Fits them a little better.
The woman fits in his arms. With me, it's sorry, I'm not going to get around your back. I apologize for that.
I don't know what to tell you.
Sorry about that. That's all I got.
Yeah, these two here, the Jesus Christ, the Durenlows, yes. Dunrelows, I wanted to say, the Durenlows, they're, like I said, outside of her DWI in 79, which it seemed like an aberration. She didn't have any other issues.
Right.
She wouldn't get caught, getting in bar fights or anything like that. He worked for Harrison Concrete Construction for years and years and years. They're just a awfully stable couple. Yeah. Now, she files for divorce in 84 for the express reason that she wanted to be free to marry Harmon.
Wow.
She wants to marry Harmon Olmsted.
That's her goal.
She wants to be Mrs. Olmsted. She's like, well, at least people can fucking pronounce it. Right. This Dunrelu, people don't know what the hell we're talking about. They have no idea. Durenlow, right. Dunrelu, I keep calling Durenlow. People don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Right. So, anyway, but she ends up actually she files the paperwork, but then she tells her mother that she's worried that she might have fucked up.
Oh.
She's like, I think I made a mistake here. She's like, because, if we get divorced.
This is still contingent upon Harmon leaving his wife.
Well, not only that, she thinks of actual practical things of, we could lose the house, that we could, we could have to sell the house, right. And I lose my house that we've had for years and years and years with our 2 kids and all that. And who knows what if he wants custody of the children?
Right.
I'm cheating on him. Right. He's a stable guy.
Right.
He has much ground as anybody else to say he wants custody of the kids.
This sounds like post-orgasm realization.
Yeah, she's like, oh shit. Harmon blacked me out for about 8 minutes there, but I'm fucking back to reality here,
and
boy.
We're gonna lose so much.
God
shit.
damn it, Harmon, get back here. I need to quell this, please. Jesus Christ. So she ends up dropping the suit.
Yeah.
She drops the whole thing actually legally.
No
she
divorce.
Pulls the divorce off the table, pulls it out of the court. Gonna stay. Well, she doesn't stay. They end up being separated on and off. Okay. She'll move out for a while. She'll move back in. Yeah. This whole time she's carrying out an affair with Harmon Olmsted. Once Olmsted puts his stamp on you, once he slaps you with his Harmon, it's over with. That's it. That's all there is to it. You're done for.
Yeah.
You're in for life at that point. So she got a Harmon tattooed on her stomach like Tupac, and it was over with. So she's still having this affair. Now Michael Durenlow, the husband here, is aware of this affair at some point, or at least aware of this Olmsted kind of hooking up or pushing up on his wife.
God, what a terrible feeling.
So it's an awful feeling for this guy. And like I said, it's not a new relationship. They've been together for 18 fucking years with these kids and all this type of shit. So it gets to the point where they have some confrontations. Michael and Harmon have some confrontations, and it was really bad. One of the times I was in a parking lot, and Michael actually started the confrontation, and Harmon knocked him out cold with his cock. It was amazing. I'm sorry, that didn't actually happen. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
He was waist.
He was hanging on my every word too. He's like, really? Yeah, he was down there anyway, and he just swung his waist around and knocked him silly.
What happened is that Michael said, "Harmon, I got to talk to you," and he turned around really fast, and that's all. That was the
What's
end.
That?
Of it.
And then he was impaled, just embedded in a wall somewhere. So she's having this affair. They apparently had exchanged, Michael and Harmon had apparently exchanged threats and engaged in a couple of physical encounters in public places and, and places where people saw it. They had they didn't fight each other, but they were like, they'd start tussling and people would pull them apart. Two guys that don't know how to fight and don't want to fight or decide they need to fight for some reason, and people pull them up. I'm going to grab him like that. And I could see.
I just see the fucking midgets from
Interface. Like, hey, come here, let's go. Come on, guy.
This guy's choking.
Listen to me, guy.
Yeah,
with the seatbelt. Yeah, from the back. Or our Pennsylvania case, Sunbury. Yeah, from the back seat. That guy.
Poor Michael running into a bar and jumping up to hit him in the knee. And
No, I mean, I can understand Michael's plight here, too. He's like, how could my wife fuck a guy named Harmon? I'm mad. That's bullshit.
I'm so angry.
I'm so angry. So poor Michael. I'm sorry, Michael. It's not your fault. Your wife is having an affair on you. This is terrible. By all accounts, he did nothing. He didn't beat her. He didn't wasn't horrible. Wasn't gone for months at a time. Right. He was a decent person and a nice man and a good father. And at this time was just having a rocky time in his marriage. And it's not his fault that he's tiny, but that's fucking hilarious. I'm sorry.
It is. Sorry. It really is.
So just to let you know.
And I share his plight. It's fun.
It's funny. Jimmy's short. We can talk about him. So that's fine. And we got short, bald, Italian. We got all sorts of shit covered here. Don't worry about it. So one point here, though, late 1984. So this is affair started like May, June-ish. The divorce papers are filed in August, pulled back in there. Now we're in like November 1984. Rebecca tells a friend of hers that she's just having a conversation, like, just a woman to woman talk. I figure, now this again, I picture this is a cartoon thing. Big hair dryers over their heads and they're talking magazines, the whole deal. But I think it's actually happened on the phone. So they're on the phone and she tells her friend that she wouldn't have so many problems if only her husband were dead. Which, God. I mean, clearly. I mean, good God.
That's a terrible realization to have.
That's an awful realization. And that's a weird thing to get to. That not to how do I leave? Right. Because I said she's not under any. There's no harm has come to her. She's not under any threat. She's not
being threatened every day.
He hasn't done anything wrong to her or told her she's not allowed to go anywhere. She just feels like life would be a lot easier if she could just kill this fucking guy or he would die somehow. And, then she could have custody of the kids, not have to worry about it. And fucking this guy can lay down the Harmon day, night, and fucking morning.
I see it as a Sex and the City thing on the phone where she's just like, Harmon just wants to go down on me all the time.
It's just ridiculous.
That's all he wants to do. And that's what I'd rather have that
right now. That's what I'm into.
Than having him climb up on me.
It's true. He smells less like maple than anyone else around here. So it's just, what I mean?
Always going down on me. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. So she tells her friend that, which right away your friend's got to be like, oh, yeah. I mean, how do you react to that? If I tell you, like, man, it'd just be so much easier if Sarah was dead, you'd be like,
I'd die laughing.
What? Yeah, you'd laugh because I wasn't serious. Number one, you'd be like, shut the fuck up, hey. And two, you'd be like, what are you, stupid? What the fuck? I don't think you'd encourage that line of thought. Is what I'm getting at. No. If a friend tells you that, you wouldn't be like, well, yeah.
Sometimes you got to kill a bitch.
I can see that. I mean, yeah, obviously, if he were dead, your life would be much easier. Let's just hope he dies.
It's be expensive.
You can't say that. So she tells so we go to spring of 1985. So this goes on now for almost a year. This affair has been going on and the marriage has turned to shit and they're on and off separated and there's affairs and dick downs happening left and right. Rebecca tells her mother that she was going to go through with the divorce at this point. She's tired of this shit. She's tired of the charade. She doesn't care what the consequences are. She's going to go through with this divorce and marry Harmon. Okay. This is the express reason for the divorce is I need to get divorced before I go marry Harmon.
Mom needs to say, but Harmon's still married. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's
you've got to put some things into perspective and realize that your goal, no matter what you do, still relies on somebody else's fucking actions.
This is a twisted mess, is what this is. This is a fucked up, I would say triangle, but it's a square, I guess, because really is. His wife has no idea what's going on.
She is in the dark.
That's the other thing. She has no goddamn idea he's having an affair. She doesn't know that he's tussling with a jockey in a fucking parking lot somewhere. She has no idea about this. She knows about his cock. That she knows about. She's been around him. But other than that, she's really clueless to his goings on.
It's another John Candy movie.
It's another John Candy movie. I think we just wrote one right here. Damn it, bring him back from the dead. Yeah. So now, one point here, she gets frustrated with Harmon, and it's of some dispute what she's frustrated about. Now, there's multiple things that this could mean, and this is where we get a gray area and where everything kind of turns to a muddy tapioca of a fucking legal mess. But she tells Harmon that she is about to resume having sexual relations with Michael unless Olmsted, quote, proved himself. Yeah. Now, this is not disputed because she told someone she said this. He told people she said the exact same thing. People who don't know each other both heard the same thing separately. So corroborated from both sides. He needs to prove himself or else she's going to start fucking her husband.
Yeah.
Which is, wow, okay.
This is like Who's Harry Crumb with like that bitchy lady in the movie.
This is, wow. This is more complicated than Who's Harry Crumb, actually. And that includes the wig John Candy was wearing, and that was complicated, mister. So
he had a merkin on his chest.
He had a fucking merkin on his head, on his chest. His head was a merkin, too. That thing was terrible. Again, John Candy. Terrible movie. He makes it wonderful.
He makes it
very, very watchable.
Very watchable.
Yeah, I'll watch the shit out of that. When he's dressed like the Indian guy. Oh, John Candy is an Indian. You want to laugh. I'll tell you, that folksy 80s racism was hilarious sometimes.
Appropriation for no reason at all.
No reason at all, just to make a costume.
They could have had a character of anybody.
They could have just put a mustache on. And been fine, but nope. I'm going to be an elaborate, and we say Indian, masseuse. Like India,
right?
That's what we're saying. So
it's bizarre.
Yeah, it's very, very bizarre. Now,
very much like Bobcat Goldthwait and Hot to Trot, another great movie that is only good because he's in it.
I used to watch that when I was little,
Such
all
a
the
good
fucking
movie.
time. Hot to Trot.
It's a dumb movie, but it's fucking great.
It's a goddamn horse that talks to Bobcat Goldthwait, so he brings it in an apartment to live with him, and the horse is much better spoken than Bobcat Goldthwait. If you saw a human and a horse, you'd go, which one am I going to need subtitles for? You're wrong.
You're wrong.
So it's fucking
100%
weird.
100% wrong.
You're absolutely wrong. Guarantee you that. So, June of 1985. We've gone through the spring. June of 1985, Rebecca tells everybody that she has ended the affair with Harmon. He apparently did not prove himself.
No.
As of this point, she gave him
no proof.
No proof. He doesn't prove shit.
Right.
What are you going to do if the guy doesn't prove himself, Jimmy? Then what?
Well, you go back to the little guy.
You go back to the little guy.
Right.
And Michael, he's very dependable, Michael, and he's been wanting to get the affair wasn't a deal breaker for him. He wanted...
What a hero.
He wanted his family together, and that's what he told everybody, told his relatives. He just wanted his family to not be fucked up. He wanted his kids to have a mom and a dad in the same house and all that shit. So he's trying to make it work. And apparently, as of June 1985, she decides that she's going to try to make it work too.
Okay.
Great. Good for her. She says the affair is over, and she tells everyone she's reconciled with Michael, but she's also seen with Harmon Olmsted at a 4th of July party.
Oh, boy.
So that's what she tells everybody, but who knows how true that is, because I would say if you're having an affair with somebody and then you break off the affair, you're probably not going to go to any parties with them.
Probably not going to want to talk to that person anymore.
I would assume if you see each other, you're probably going to fuck.
Right.
Also.
Right.
So you're not, this isn't like we're all platonic now.
Right.
You don't become platonic friends with the person you're having an affair with on you. That I don't think that works in the real world at all.
It can work as like an ex-boyfriend and an ex-girlfriend. They can be platonic eventually, I imagine. But
a month after you break it off to reconcile with your husband because this guy didn't prove himself, so you decided this is all a little murky, I think, and it's not going to work out the same way.
Is he one of the Harmon Kardon people? Is he part of that shit, or is he just just an Olmsted somewhere?
He's Olmsted.
He doesn't matter.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he's got any kind of special connections or anything like that. There's nothing. He's not a wealthy man.
Yeah.
He's just a
dude that fucks well.
Dude swinging some serious meat, Jimmy. That's all it is. So she said she had ended the affair, but like we said, 4th of July party. They're seen together by multiple people. She went to a fucking party, so obviously they're going to be seen together.
Right.
Now, July 9th, 1985, the Durenlows have decided that life is grand. They have reconciled, and they want to announce to the world that they're reconciling, and they're going to go out and have a reconciliation celebration for the two of them. They're going to go out and have some drinks. They're going to go out on the town. But they drive like 30 miles away to Essex,
go show
Vermont,
those people.
To go, which is strange. They don't go to Swanton. They go to Essex. And it's not this place. It's called Veronica's Tavern in Essex.
So a shithole bar.
It's a fucking bar.
You're going to go tell the alcoholics that you're now not fucking everybody else.
Well, the weird part is...
What is that?
Yeah, let's go tell all the alkies that don't care at all, because they're all running away from their terrible relationships. That's why they're drinking in here.
Hello, everybody put your drinks down, because we would like to tell y'all, I realize you're in here tonight having drinks and hoping to fuck that bartender. Now listen, this girl right here used to be fucking everybody, okay? Now she's only fucking me again now, because at first she was fucking everybody, then I married her, now she was only fucking, then she went fucking everybody else. Now she's back to just this dick.
Everybody keep your cocks in your pants though, because you never know how long this is going to hold.
Continue trying to fuck that bartender.
This might not hold. We don't know.
I'm going to take her back home 30 miles away. And they're like, who the fuck was that little guy?
No shit. What? He's like, those were cool people. Like, they really listen. They're good listeners. Really good listeners. I like them.
Blind drunk, Mike.
God damn it. Jesus Christ, Mike. He's like, I don't know. I couldn't see their eyes. They were way up there. So the strange thing about Veronica's Tavern is that this is not a place that they have frequented, Rebecca and Mike. This is a place that Rebecca goes with Harmon.
Okay.
This is their place that they go to. So when she comes in with Michael, the people that do know her are like, what the fuck is going on now? So this is super fucking strange. Like, why would you take him 30 miles away to a place that you take the guy that you had or were having an affair with? The whole thing is very fucking strange here. They've been seen there multiple times over the last year. Harmon and Rebecca, by like many, many times. This was one of their regular watering holes. She likes to go out and have a drink, this Rebecca.
Is Mike taking her to the places she used to go to embarrass her?
No. This is her idea.
This is her idea.
She's driving.
Okay.
She's driving. She took him out here. This is her idea. We're going to go out to celebrate. We're going to Veronica's Tavern. I know it. It's a great little place. We're going to have a ball over here.
Blue Harmon in the corner.
Yeah, so he's just happy that they're together, and he's like, I'll go to whoever's fucking tavern you want. Doesn't matter. So he seems like a good guy here. They go there, so this is on July 9th. They plan this out, that they're going to go, and it's the evening of July 12th is when they're going to go have this celebration. I don't know why they couldn't just go have a drink some other time. Maybe he's tired from his concrete work. I'm not sure.
Maybe the Groupon was about to expire.
You have no idea. That's true. It's coming. So it expires on the 13th. Let's get it in right on the 12th. Let's make them think that we're not going to do it, and then just fucking get it in there.
We're going to take from them anyway.
Right under there. So they meet, they meet. They're at home on the evening of the 12th. They leave their home in Swanton and go to the tavern all the way there. Like we said, it's like 30 miles. They arrive at about 9:30 p.m., and Rebecca's driving this whole time. This is her car, her driving. She parks the car back in the back of the building. There's two different places you could park. There's a front lot where most of the people park, and you just walk on in the front, like most bars have, a front entrance, and there's a back entrance.
And then you park in the overflow parking when the front is full on Friday.
On Friday night. Well, here there is the back of the tavern. That parking area is totally unlit. It's like the woods back there. It's pitch fucking black. Then they refer to it a million times as pitch black back there. No lights, no nothing. I don't know why nobody put a street light up. It's Vermont. I don't know. So they park there. Rebecca parks the car in an unlit area behind the building, rear of the tavern. That's where they are. Now, the lot that they're parked in, at the back of the tavern, is next to it is a grassy embankment, an embankment with a bunch of grass and train tracks next to it, separating that parking lot from a lumber yard.
It's a fucking murder field.
So there's a pitch black parking lot, train tracks, lumber yard back there. So this is just to give you a lay of the land of what's going on here.
It's the place where if a drunk in a bar, I don't know, say Veronica's, was like, y'all want to see a dead body? You just be like, yeah, let's go out back. I'm sure there's one there.
Or more likely, even drunk in the bar, gets in his car and he's like, I bet we can jump them tracks, and then just fucking tries to take his car four-wheeling into the lumber yard and across the tracks. That's probably happened.
Taurus, sir.
That's probably happened so many times when people were shit-faced, hammered in there. Like, it's going to be so much fun. And then they get 12 feet and they're fucking bottomed out on like, shit, that doesn't work.
Y'all want to see a dead body? Frank tried to jump his Lincoln Continental last week.
We're going to have to, we had to winch it out. It was a bastard. Let me tell you something. So let's not do that. Yeah. So this also the lot they're in there's a few other parked cars there, mostly employees. They park in the back, and there's a bunch of debris back there. Yeah. There's shit from the lumber yard, shit that's blown in, there's just shit everywhere. It's the area that's not. It's very well. It's not taken care of. No one cares. Right. Yeah, no one cares. The front is where people give a shit and they care, where most of the people come in. So the Duranlows enter the bar together. They walk in together. They find a table. They order a beer. Now, like we said, 30 miles, and they are there. They order one beer. They don't even finish the beer and decide to leave.
What?
They're there for 15 minutes. Yeah. And they drove 30 miles to have 3/4 of a beer and get in the car and go home.
What the fuck?
Which is super weird.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. There wasn't like, oh, there was a confrontation or somebody said something and they were like, let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Bunch of people were at the bar.
Get back to that reconciliation sex.
Everybody was there. But they need to get to the car to go fuck in an unlit parking lot next to a dirty lumber yard and train tracks. That sounds hot. That's fucking hot. So yeah, they leave after 15 minutes, not a whole beer. They leave. They go to the back of the parking lot, like we said, the back of the building they leave to. They go to the car. When they get to the car, Rebecca goes to the driver's side and Michael goes to the passenger side. She drove. It's her car. So she's going to get in her side. This is what she says, and he's going to open the passenger door. And at that point, out of nowhere, out of the complete darkness, Michael is struck in the back of the head with a blunt instrument and stabbed twice in the heart.
Oh, my God.
And he dies.
That's it.
That's it. He dies there. They end up taking him into surgery and all that, but he doesn't make it. He's bleeding out, stabbed in the heart twice.
Holy shit.
And plunked in the head with a blunt object.
That was fast.
That was very fast. He was having a beer. Everything was fine. Reconciliation. Dead. Like that.
What the hell?
Now he's dead. Now, she said that, Rebecca says that she heard her husband say, I've had enough, just after he got hit or just after she heard the scuffling over on the other side of the car. Okay. She heard him say, I've had enough, apparently. I don't know. Sorry, I mean, don't want to make fun of him, but that's what we said. He said I've had enough. And so apparently, is what she says. That's what she says.
The one slam on the back of the head, he'd had enough? Or
that's what the... That's,
so many questions.
There's a lot of questions here. We're going to get into all of this here.
What do you mean, Michael?
Yeah, exactly. She reports the attacker as what she could see, approximately 5 feet 4 inches tall, and could have been male or female.
Okay.
So she can't even make out a gender.
Yeah,
it's so dark. It's so dark. And this is 1985, so it wasn't like, well, he was gender fluid. No, this was Vermont, either overalls or a dress. Right. One of the two, I feel like. So that's what's going on here. Hilarious. So that's how she describes him. 5 foot tall, describes the assailant. 5 foot tall, gender indeterminate. Okay. So that's interesting. Now, another witness... somebody around there reported around this time seeing a man of Harmon Olmsted size, who's about 6 feet tall, and a truck that Olmsted drives in the vicinity of the back parking lot around the time of this assault that had happened. So that's damning a bit. That's,
Why you? Okay.
I mean, it is a 6 foot tall man with a truck in Vermont. So, I mean, it could be other people, but that's still a lousy coincidence, we'll say. It's not a good coincidence.
And now back to the show.
So at this point, Rebecca, after this has happened, her husband has hit the ground. Yeah. Rebecca, now nobody touched her. Nobody asked for money from him. Right. There was no, hey, give me everything you got.
There's no rape.
No rape. No nothing. Just somebody had it in for this guy, wanted to kill him, get the fuck out of there. No interest in her at all. She runs back into the bar and she shouts that her husband's been hit. Yeah. That's all she shouts is, my husband's been hit. Okay, but didn't say where or what happened. So everybody in the bar exits the front door and goes out to the distance and goes through the parking lot out in the street thinking that he'd been hit by a car because my husband's been hit in the streets right there. Right. And I'm sure a drunk has wandered out and got fucking taken out by a car once in a while on a dark road in the middle of Vermont.
Another
somewhere.
One of these.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. All right, fine. We'll put him with the cow we got this morning off the fucking road. So it's one of those things. So they all run out and they're like, where the fuck is he? Right. Is he in the bush? They're like looking in the weeds on the side of the road. Did he fly off the road? What happened? And they can't find him. So then she comes out finally after a couple minutes. She comes out of the bar in the front and says, no, he's in the back parking lot. Jesus. She didn't say as they rushed out the door, you're going the wrong direction. Right. You should come this way.
She didn't lead anybody out and lead them to the body.
She led them into the street, and she said the 5'4" gender indeterminate attacker ran toward Maple Street, ran away that way. So that's what she says also. So she's got a lot to say here. Okay. So all the people go from the front of the bar back through the bar and back into the back parking lot again. Now this in a big this is getting to be a comically ridiculous scene of a bunch of drunks searching the weeds and then running back in going, where's the attacked guy or where's the hit guy? Because they don't even know what happened.
They don't even have a description of what injury he has.
No.
He's just been hit.
He's been hit. So while this is happening, while they're all searching, the bartender is calling 911 or whatever the Vermont 1985 equivalent of 911 is, just 9 probably. Just dialing some shit, and So and a car that's painted like a cow comes along with spots on it and shit, and they pull up to the fucking thing
with one red dome on the top that he had to magnetize.
Yeah, he had to magnetize it, and there's its own little maple spout coming out of the dashboard. Because they got to have that. Put a little in your coffee in the morning. So you got to have that maple scent coming from your pores.
Maple and brandy in your coffee.
That's how you attract the women up there. You should have Harmon, like I said.
That's how you get through a day.
It's the only way to get through a day, Jimmy. So as a rescue team arrives, and also the people there were, obviously trying to do CPR on him or whatever they could until the ambulance gets there. Ambulance gets there. They're trying to revive him. Everybody's attempts to revive him, all of the fighting for this guy's life. During all of this, Rebecca stands far away from him.
Wow.
She is like 30 feet away, just arms crossed, watching the whole scenario take place.
Makes me woozy.
Yeah, which is, I gotta say, a little weird. I mean, I get that people have different reactions to different shit, but I just tend to think that you would dive in there and try to help that person, or at least
we all grieve different ways.
Try to make them comfortable while if they're in pain. I don't know. I would if it was
husband.
That's what I'm saying. If it was my wife, I'd be like, oh shit, and try to help her, and at least comfort least or something. I wouldn't be like, I'll let those strangers take care of it. I'm going to stay over here. I'm going to at least be standing there trying to see what happens.
This is right around.
Hey, don't grab her tit, shit like that.
This is right around when AIDS got big though, and she's like, I don't know what he's got.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got. Shit. I'm the one fucking other people. Damn, never mind. Shit.
I may have gave him something. I don't want to catch it.
Damn it. Fuck. So, 2 people named Charles Blasdell and Douglas Belenko, who work at IBM. Obviously, IBM employees, as most of the people were at that point.
They are the B in IBM.
They are the B, yes. They testified for both of them. They testified later on. They say that they tell the police that they came to Michael's aid, and that Rebecca had told them that she'd been hit, and they just backed up the story of running out in the front and running out in the back. And they found Michael in a position that the medical examiner would say was consistent with their findings. So we'll find out what those findings are in a little bit. But now state police at this point say that investigators found no evidence indicating anybody in particular of this crime. There's anything with fingerprints. There's nothing that they can match to anybody. They have no
suspect.
They have no physical leads, no evidence of physical leads. Obviously, they have suspicions.
Oh, yeah.
But they have nothing.
Don't have any that's concrete in evidence that would hold up in court that this person did it.
Exactly. Nothing like that. Now, an Essex Lieutenant, Robin J. Howdell, said that Rebecca, quote, became obviously more agitated and became unresponsive to my questions at the scene.
Really?
So he's trying to gather information, and at this point, it's whoever attacked him could still be close by, and it's a hey, what happened? What's going on? What'd you see? And she starts fucking being like, oh, fuck you.
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm not talking about you about this. Like,
I'm fine.
Yeah, she starts getting her arms crossed again. I just see her as a very arms crossed type of person. Like, well, I'm not going to go revive him. I'm not going to tell you what happened to my dead husband.
She seems like a pain in the ass.
Became obviously more agitated. Now, obviously, too, he could have been asking her pointed questions, too. Yeah. Do you know who did this? Are you fucking somebody that might have is there a huge dicked man riding around this fucking town with a beef against this fucking guy or what? Like, you don't know what he's asking her. Right. But apparently she became agitated, unresponsive, and not helpful to the police at this point. They make her, she don't make her, but she agrees to take a polygraph test the day after the killing. Yeah. They don't do the Xerox machine on her. They give her more credit than that.
Would you like to take a lie detector? Phillips, go get the Xerox machine.
Come on, let's take her to the copy room. That's what they did, too. They didn't even bring one in the interrogation room. They took him to the copy room. You'd think in that story, just the fact that there's just reams of paper around in the fucking copy room would make you think this isn't a lie detector room. This is the copy room.
There are still butt cheeks on that, sir.
What are you doing? What are you doing? A guy had his ass on that 10 minutes ago. So she agrees to take a polygraph test, and she passes it.
Really?
The day after the killing, okay?
But what were the questions?
She passes it, The problem is the police learn that through the polygraph, that she had taken sedatives before the polygraph, which is how you pass a polygraph. That's the number one way to pass a polygraph.
Is that their first question?
Medicate her. No, later on they said, did you take anything? And she said no. And they said, yeah, you did, motherfucker. And she said, okay, yeah, I took sedatives because I'm nervous to do this, obviously, as anybody would be, but that's part of the test, is your baseline nervous is here.
The whole reason.
And then when I ask you, did you kill your husband, your baseline nervous jumps up to here and it's, spikes.
That's how
Whereas
they work.
if you're on sedatives, I could ask you anything and you'd just be like, I don't know, whatever, sure. Did you kill your husband? No.
Not me.
I don't know, whatever. Your heartbeat is physically incapable of fucking raising. Your body's incapable of producing the things that the physical manifestations of not telling the truth. So they learn about that and they say, okay, well, you got to take it again, clean and sober with no sedatives. And she says, fuck that. No, thank you.
Really?
So she refuses to take a second polygraph. She said, I already passed one. I'm not taking another one. Fuck you people.
Okay.
Which they're not happy about. At that point, they're starting to get, they were suspicious before. Right. If you're taking a lie detector, they're suspicious. We'll put it that way.
You're definitely a suspect.
You're something. Right. Yeah. They're
thinking about you.
We just want to clear you means let's make sure.
Right. We just want to clear you. Yeah. So do I.
Yeah.
Because you guys are clearly thinking about me.
Exactly. So she refuses to retake the test and never does take another lie detector test. Ever.
Never does.
Never takes another one.
Because she passed one.
She passed one. She's
it's like
good.
A driving test.
I passed that once.
Did it.
I passed it. Yeah, I haven't taken another driving test since I got my license.
Fuck no.
No, they don't know how bad I've gotten.
No.
I could be terrible out there. They have no idea.
I've committed crimes since.
That's a weird thing. You get your license and they give it to you. There's no retesting. There's no anything. It's just until you do enough bad shit to where they have to take it away, you have it.
Or
That's
you
it.
age out of it.
But otherwise it's you until you do enough bad shit to get it taken away from you.
Silly.
You've gone 85 and a 30, so now you can't have it anymore. Other than that, you can have it forever. I don't get it.
I mean, you were caught doing that. That's all it is. Because I've done it. I've gone very, very fast.
I think we all have.
I mean, we did 110 to Texas.
Yeah, we did. But in Texas,
85.
That's the right lane.
Or is it 95?
In Texas, that's the right lane. That really is. If you want to be in the left lane, you have to be going 120 and firing a shotgun out of your passenger window. That's the left lane. That's for fucking closers in Texas. They don't fuck around.
You're doing 105 in the slow lane, and then big rigs are passing.
They're passing you, firing shotguns out of the passenger window. It's fucking weird. So,
yeehaw, motherfucker!
Yeehaw, bitches!
That's their horn.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says. That's the pull horn instead of it's yeehaw, bitches. So, 2 days after the killing, Rebecca goes to a friend's house, and this is not like her. She's not someone who shows up. She goes without calling first, and the person's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Right. Like, she's an adult. She's like 40 years old. Like, you don't just show up at people's houses unannounced. You do that when you're 19. You go knock on your buddy's apartment door and he's home and you're like, hey, cool, let's do some bong hits. And they go, yeah, come on in. They don't care.
That happened to us a lot when I was a kid, I think.
What? People come over to do bong hits? Yeah.
They would come over to smoke weed with my stepdad.
Yeah.
They just show up
That's
unannounced.
a sign of a bad adult.
Yeah.
No one shows up at my fucking house unannounced. Nobody. If they do.
Yeah, I don't even show up.
I'm not letting it. No. You could. But
I don't.
Very few people could. Most people I'd be like, they didn't say they're fucking coming over. I'll let that fucking doorbell ring forever. Let the dogs bark, eat shit. I keep doing what I'm doing, motherfucker. So she shows up, though, without calling, and this friend of hers had just returned from Ohio, where she was going to move with her family. So she went to look for a place to live in Ohio where her husband and her kids were going to move. So now at this point, Rebecca says that she and Harmon should also consider moving to Ohio. This is 2 days after the killing, by the way. After the big reconciliation party.
Leaving the state.
They should leave, and listen to why. She said they should leave as well because there's no way they're going to be able to live in Swanton, is what she says. Okay. Because, people are going to fucking talk, obviously.
There's a dead man, and there are questions.
Well, especially when you were... he was killed at your giant I'm not fucking that guy anymore party, because that's what the party was.
The place where you used to fuck that guy.
That's the thing, because that's what the party was.
Right.
The only beef they had was her fucking him.
Right.
And so if that was the party, I'm not fucking him anymore. My wife's not taking that huge cock anymore. Right. Everybody, drinks on me.
Right.
Celebrate
for 15 minutes.
Nagila.
15 minutes of open bar.
Yeah,
let's go
for me, baby, like a wedding. Jesus Christ. text. So she says later on, Harmon called the friend's house, this friend that came back from Ohio, that Barbara, or that she was visiting, and then she says that she was expecting to find her there. That's what, or Harmon says that. Harmon called this friend and said, where is she? Yeah. God damn it, I want to lay some dick down, and Rebecca is nowhere to be found here. So she says, I called her Barbara a minute ago. Her name's Rebecca. It's not fucking Barbara. Right. So anyway, she's not there. Now the friend speaks with Harmon, but says that basically speaks with him and is over. He tells her on the phone that everything's going to be all right for some reason, and she's like,
tells
okay.
Rebecca that.
Tells the friend this
the friend that.
on the phone. Yeah, because Rebecca's not there.
Right.
Yeah, so she tells everything's going to be all right, and she's like, okay,
good.
Terrific. I don't know. Fuck you want from me. I just got back from Ohio.
Everything's fine.
I'm moving. I'm not involved with you people anymore. You shouldn't move there, by the way. So over the next 3 weeks, Rebecca is at this friend's house a lot. Not normal for her to be over there all the time. Yeah. This is a normal friend she sees once in a while. Yeah. All of a sudden, she's there all the time, and whenever she's there, Harmon is calling her there. So rather than calling her on her phone that, police might be watching.
Oh, brilliant.
It's 15 calls over a 2 to 3 week period.
Or is it dumb?
Or it's a 15 call thing over 2 to 3 weeks. So it's a definite pattern of, I'm going over there to get a call from him, especially since she normally doesn't go over there to hang out, especially not unannounced.
How weird would that be if I just showed up here unannounced and then
there's
all
a
of
phone
sudden,
call for you?
Then your phone rings and they're like, is Jimmy there?
Yeah, that's what would happen.
Why the fuck would you think that Jimmy would be here? But actually,
sure. He comes over. It's like they're all teenagers. He comes over. Yeah. She comes over unannounced. Yeah. And then 5 minutes later, he calls there. Does Rebecca happen to be there? Actually, she just wandered in.
Very weird.
Shocking.
I've been calling everywhere. I figured I'd call you too.
If that happened once, amazing. That's weird. A coincidence.
What a bizarre
15 times in 2 weeks? That's a lot, I would say. That seems like a pattern.
Yeah.
So
after the third day, the friend should just be like, are you fucking using me for my phone?
Why are you taking calls here?
You're weird.
Don't you have a phone, you fucking weirdo?
Is mail for you showing up here now, too?
By the way, where are your kids? Don't you have kids?
Don't you have children?
With a dead father that you should be talking to and hanging out with?
13 and 14-year-old child?
You shouldn't be here.
What are you doing?
One of them's fucking 10 at this point, for Christ's sake.
Oh, is that? Yeah, you're right.
They're like 13 and 10, these poor kids.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a 10-year-old girl who lost her dad, and this lady's over here taking phone calls at her friend's house. I don't know if they were at school or what.
I got a 10-year-old. I'm going through a divorce, and my kids are losing their mind.
Oh, yeah, Jesus. That's my kids.
I can come over at any time.
Yeah,
I'm not dead.
Imagine if you were dead.
Oh, Jesus.
And
poor kids.
Mom's getting dicked down. So Rebecca also, she at this point, now you start to, once there's a death and you go through the police talk to you, now you have to start dealing with all of the logistical shit like, I don't know, life insurance.
Oh, boy.
Turns out, he's got a pretty good policy, and guess who's the beneficiary?
You betcha.
Definitely Rebecca.
Is she taking those phone calls at the friend's house too?
I got to make some calls here. She needs an office, this woman. That's what she really needs. Just a small office, maybe in Essex Junction down there with the public services.
They could use a Kinko's or a FedEx Express or FedEx office.
Or even like just if there's a hotel with like a business center in it, I think she can make that work for her. I have a feeling. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So she claims to everybody not to know that the death benefit for this, for the insurance, had been increased when? In the spring of 1985.
Jesus, right then.
3 months beforehand, when she had announced that she's no longer going to fuck this other guy.
She's terrible at this.
She basically increased
it. She did it.
Yeah, who knows? She increases the amount, and then he's dead immediately, like 3 months later.
Where she used to fuck.
At the place where she used to bang the guy.
She's now celebrating the night that she's not fucking.
And taking all sorts of phone calls at that person's house, secretively.
And sedatively passing
and
polygraphs.
This
is all very suspect.
But the assailant, 5'4", tiny. No idea, dick or not. Who knows? An Asian.
Fluid sexuality.
It was just an Asian ninja. I have no fucking idea. Not that Asians are gender neutral, but you know what I'm saying.
Look the same.
It's exactly. There you go.
Male and female, same haircut.
There you go. So, at least in the 80s.
Right.
At least in 1985.
Right. If you've been to Disneyland in 85, you would think the same thing.
Absolutely. Now it's different.
Now it is.
Then it's not.
They grew their hair now.
They do. They know it's, they're like, hey, we can do shit
this
to
is
it.
Allowed.
Hey, cool. Hey, right on. That's true. Yeah, China was pretty fucking oppressive.
Weird.
In the 80s. It's still shitty, but I mean, in the 80s, they were still running people over with tanks on the news and shit. So they'd do it now, just they'd fucking kill everyone with a camera anywhere nearby. They got smart about it.
Throwing tiny girl babies off cliffs.
Oh, yeah, that's ridiculous. They'll do that forever. So she claims not to know about this increase. She said, I knew we had insurance. I didn't know he upped it in spring of 85. I guess I'm a real lucky lady here. What a guy. But the insurance agent who arranged the increase said that, actually, she was aware of it. She was the one that did it.
Right.
It was all her. And not only was it increased 2 months before that, it was increased by more than $90,000. So that's what the extra she ended up getting out of it from what it was before. And it's also said by the insurance agent that Rebecca forged the husband's signature as well. So his signature is different, and her signature of him is that.
The other question now is,
great.
Why did the insurance guy allow that? Oh, is it because he gets a commission? Well, you fucking slimy
Well,
prick.
these nice people from Swanton ain't going to kill each other.
Right.
She's just oh, God, that paperwork. How many times has your wife signed shit for you? Back when you're married.
Zero
when you're married. She never was like, slap it on a fucking thing like that.
I don't want her to sign my fucking name. I'll be strapped to some goddamn financial burden for however long. No,
that's good.
God,
that's
no.
Well, you never know.
She doesn't get to touch shit of mine.
You don't know what she signed.
That's why I'm divorced, because she touched my shit.
How would you know what she signed, Jimmy?
You got a good point.
You have no idea.
I don't know what she signed. I may have all kinds of financial burdens out there.
Credit cards out there.
You start getting phone calls for shit I don't own.
Every time you go to the ball game, she's fucking signed you up for another card. She's got like 26 tote bags at home.
That is a good point. There were a lot of Phoenix Suns and Coyotes shit in my house.
Why are there 14 newspapers showing up every morning? What's going on here? So,
where is this coming out of? Because it's coming out of an account somewhere.
No shit. So now we'll talk about Teresa Dumont, who is Rebecca's mother. Now, she tells police that before Michael's death, Rebecca told her about several conflicts between, this is interesting now, between Michael and Harmon, that even the mother knew about.
What the fuck?
The mother knew about this shit. In one case, the mother quotes Rebecca to the police, saying that Olmsted issued a warning to Michael, and this is what Rebecca told her mother, that, quote, make sure you've got eyes behind your head, he told him, which is a bad thing when you got hit with a blunt object in the back of the head.
Right.
Those
it's also impossible to do.
It's also, very difficult. The mother also said, Rebecca's mother also said that Rebecca told her the comment was made at a bar called the Outpost, where in St. Albans, and she said that Rebecca also said that Olmsted told Michael, quote, I'll get you sooner or later, in front of a bunch of people in an open space in a bar.
Not a good threat.
Again, terrible threat. Now, afterwards, after the whole thing, you would wonder where the fuck they've talked to Rebecca.
Right.
She got a polygraph.
Right.
I'd like to know what Harmon has to say about this, especially since a person fitting his description was seen in the area.
In a truck he owns.
They should at least probably have a chat with him. So the state police look for him at his mother's house, and his mother, Martha Olmsted, that is the most Amish name I've ever found. She's at least Mennonite, at least.
Yeah.
No television for this woman.
She wiped her hands on her skirt to answer the door.
Oh, absolutely. Damn, she was making a pie. Yeah. She had to wipe them off real quick. She tells the police that after Michael had after Harmon conferred with a lawyer, he took an unscheduled trip to Oregon to quote, visit a distant relative for a few days.
Oh, boy.
So, okay.
Out of the blue, you're going to visit a distant relative?
Life insurance upped. Right. She's telling people the wrong way. Right. He's seen in the vicinity. Right. They're having an affair. Reconciliation. 2 days later, she's, wants to fucking move to Ohio with this guy. Right. She's taking sedatives during her lie detector. He decides after talking to a lawyer that he should, out of nowhere, visit a distant relative, coincidentally, right after this fucking shit happens.
On the other side of the planet.
On the complete other side of the country, on Vermont West, which is what Oregon is. It's Western Vermont. Vermont West and Oregon East is what they are.
More trees, same amount of weed.
Same shit, same flannel, less maple.
You betcha.
That's all it is, baby. So now, Brenda Donna, that's her name. She is Harmon Olmstead's wife.
Okay.
This fucking poor woman.
Brenda
Jesus
Donna.
Christ. Brenda Donna is her name.
Okay.
She is Harmon's wife at this time. She said she didn't learn about the affair that he was having with Rebecca until 10 days before Michael was killed. So July 2nd, 1985.
Right before 4th of July.
Right before 4th of July.
Boy.
So this happened, I mean, this affair had been going on for all this time.
Yeah.
And then she found out about it, which might, facilitate.
Probably because he told her he was going to a 4th of July barbecue with this bitch.
Either that or she found out about it, and that just made the wheels once. He's like, fuck it, she knows about it now.
Yeah,
so whatever, we don't have to hide or whatever. She said that Harmon moved out and filed for divorce within a month of Michael dying.
Oh, boy.
So he's dead. He goes to Oregon, comes back, gets his shit, leaves. He's filed divorce papers. He's fucking done with Brenda.
Boy, did that house of cards fall fast.
Quick. Yeah. A month before that, everything was fine. She's married to a nice guy with a huge cock and a beard and no mustache.
Great truck.
And out of nowhere, what the fuck is going on? He's in Oregon. There's affairs. People are dead.
God damn it.
We live in Vermont. What is happening? Jesus fucking Christ.
I just found out you're having an affair. Now that lady's husband's dead, and 3 weeks later, now we're divorced.
Now we're divorced.
At least going through it.
It's fucking bad
My
shit.
Christ.
So police believe the blunt object used was either a sledgehammer handle or a railroad tie, both found nearby in the parking lot. They found a couple of, there's all sorts of shit out there.
There's weapons everywhere.
It's a lumber yard next door. So there's fucking wood all over the place, tree branches.
They literally make weapons.
It's so many weapons. The earth is making weapons. Right. It's all trees. Everything's a weapon. So during all this shit here, they talked to John Powell, who's the owner of Flanders Lumber, the lumber yard next door to the bar, obviously. He says that about a half hour before the killing, he saw a pickup truck driving through the lumber yard in a suspicious manner.
Oh, that's weird.
Stopping and going and doing shit like that. He said a man he couldn't identify due to the distance and darkness got out briefly and then got back in his truck and later drove the truck out. Yeah. So he drove through a lumber yard, getting out and doing something and then getting back in his truck. I don't know, picking up a piece of wood maybe, something like that.
Finding a railroad tie?
Yeah, it's right there.
I thought you were going to say flannel lumber.
It's a flannel lumber yard. Yes, that's what it is. It's flannels lumber. Flanders flannel lumber. Right. So now Olmstead, at this point, by the way, in the time after the killing, after Michael's dead, in the time where he's filing divorce papers and moving out, but he's back from Oregon and all this, he tells Rebecca that he had, quote, proven himself.
Yeah.
Now, you could take this one of two ways. Yeah. You could take it the way of he told his wife and he's getting the fuck out and he proved that he's getting out of his marriage for it. Right. Or you could take it as he proved himself because he stabbed her husband twice in the fucking heart and popped him on the back of the head with a piece of wood.
Or you can take it as
one
he
of the
proved himself because he's a mature adult who can now drive himself across the country.
That's
and
true.
Get back
I proved myself. I proved that I can book travel.
You know how many
how hard it is?
hotels I stayed in? I proved
them.
myself.
They were vacant. They had vacancies and I paid for the room.
Back, no bed bugs.
I had a credit card. I used it.
I won.
That's right. Yeah. They took an imprint, but they didn't fucking charge me anything. No incidentals. You know how it goes. I don't make local calls. I'm not stupid.
They did one of those rack jobs over my credit card on that fucking carbon copy paper.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
Now, this is the weirdest thing in the whole story, just because it makes no sense. Rebecca started referring to Harmon by his attorney's name at that point.
What?
Which I have no idea why. His attorney's name is Dick Gadbois, or Gadbois, either one. Gadbois. I'm going to go with Gadbois, which is the greatest name ever. Dick Gadbois is what she's calling her boyfriend for some reason.
Dick, and then the noise you make whenever you spit out the wad.
That's the one. Yep, absolutely. So
that is amazing.
She starts calling him by that. They move in together.
She's calling Harmon Dick Gadbois.
Yeah. She's calling Harmon that. Harmon Olmstead. She's like, you sound too Amish. I'm calling you Dick Gadbois. That sounds sexy for some reason because I'm from Vermont.
That name sounds horny.
It does. Oh boy, that's better. Yeah, it's better now.
What the fuck?
No.
Why is she? I don't understand that. It's weird.
You would think there's some sort of arrest imminent and something happening with this case.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
No
charges filed. No, nothing. They move in together. She moves her kids in with him.
Yeah.
They start a life together. She uses the money from the life insurance to buy land from Harmon.
Okay.
So to give it to him
now
somehow.
she owns that.
Where they build a house and move in together. Look at this fucking picture perfect. And sometime in 1989, 4 years later, they build a house together. She moves in. She's there with her children from, the marriage there, everything.
They're not married, though.
They're not married at this point, but they live there with him, and this is fucking crazy.
She's not Mrs. Gadbois. Yeah.
She's not Mrs. Gadbois. Not quite. So, they live there in this fucking house, which is insane, and nothing happens. Everything is fine. Her insurance money, she's got it. Nothing's, she's good. She got away with it if she did it, and they're saying it's all fine until in the early 1990s, there is a new district attorney in town. This new prosecutor, this Sorrell guy.
Little gumshoe.
And
got some things to prove.
He looks into this case and he goes, how the fuck come there's no charges here? And also his family, Michael's family, is not quiet. This whole time, they're like, they want somebody to fucking go down for this shit. So every time they would ask the DA to file some kind of charges, they never did it. So a new guy comes in and they're like, well, will you do this shit?
Yeah.
So he looks into it and he decides maybe he wants to prosecute this thing. He at least wants to look into it. Problem here is it's an unusual case because the box containing the original investigative file was stolen from the Essex Police Department in police station in 1987.
Stolen?
It was stolen. That and some other shit, a bunch of files, property, things were stolen from the police station.
Somebody broke into the evidence locker or some shit?
Some shit like that. They stole all this shit. Now, the Essex police and the state police reconstructed most of the file because they found photocopies of statements and all that shit, and they reconstructed it that way, tried to piece the original file back together. But it's highly unusual to not have an original investigative file going into a prosecution. So weird. It's very strange. So 1991, they finally arrest Rebecca. So they take her into custody. She does get bail right away, which, I mean, she's been out for 6 years. She hasn't killed anybody else. They have, so, I mean, it's not like she's dangerous. She
didn't even follow up on moving to Ohio.
No, that's what I mean. She moved to Franklin or something, a few towns over. She ends up being released on bail. She said that she would pledge her property that she bought from Olmsted and built a house on in Franklin and post $10,000 cash, and her parents were willing to pledge their property also if that was necessary. And so they release her on bail. She must remain in Franklin County except for court hearings where she can go back and forth. So they eventually bring her to trial in 1992. 9 women, 3 men on the jury. So that's good for her. That's the balance she's looking for and that her lawyers are looking for. Now, the opening of this trial, the state's attorney, the William Sorrell guy we talked about, opening statement, man, he really fucking lays this down. I think this might be the title of this episode here. He says, quote, envy, greed, lust, murder.
Sexy.
Damn. Sounds like a rap group from the 90s. Sounds like all the makings for a bestseller, a made-for-TV movie. Sometimes these things happen in true life. You're going to hear a true story with all of these things. Now, that's perking up the fucking jury's ears. Are like, this sounds fucking great. This is going to be awesome.
This is Lifetime.
If you're a jury, you're like, fucking, let's get it on. Especially 9 women in there. Like, this sounds like a great fucking story.
That should have been like an R&B group called Lifetime.
No offense, women, but you tend to like soap operas and dramatic shit. Otherwise, they would have never been on the air because we weren't watching them. So, sorry.
They could have been a 90s R&B group called Lifetime with all those characters.
With all envy, greed, lust, and murder being the name of the 4 people. Yeah, those are their names. So he talks about how she cold-heartedly walked him back to the back of the parking lot, and he was saying how it was pitch black out there. It was an area about 200 feet behind the bar too, so it was a good goddamn distance she parked. And he said that Michael was attacked as he tried to unlock the door, and how vicious it was, and all of that. Now, physical evidence here. The Vermont's former, and a lot of these people are now like retired or moved to different jobs because it's 6 years ago when this was going on. All they have to rely on memory and notes. Their former chief medical examiner testified. She says this. She's Dr. Eleanor McQuillan. She says that it appears to her as if two people attacked Michael. She says the night he was killed. She says he was stabbed through the heart twice and clubbed in the back of the head twice behind the tavern. She said either knife wound could have been fatal. She said both blows to the head would have knocked him out. She said the knife's tip in one of the wound penetrated the back of his, penetrated all the way back through him into the heart.
Through the heart.
Through the heart that
Jesus.
way. Now
it went through his back and into his heart?
Yeah, from the back. They stabbed him like a fucking Vietnam guy. I've seen that in Vietnam movies, sneaking up behind a Viet Cong guy and stabbing him so he can't scream.
Like in Turner and Hooch.
Some crazy shit. I was thinking more like Platoon.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking more like Willem Dafoe or Tom Berenger in Platoon, but we'll take Turner and Hooch on that one.
I was just thinking the ugly guy that only stabbed the old man once and he died in 7 seconds.
Yeah. Well, he's old.
Because he was a military guy too.
Yeah. Well, if you stab an old guy, they have very little blood left. That's the problem. You stab an old guy, they bleed like half a cup and they're done. That's all they got left. So that's why they have to be very careful to keep it all. Half a cup's all it's in there. You got to be very careful to keep it all in their veins at all times. One little cut, they're dead.
All right.
That's how it works. So now, this medical examiner also said that at least one of the stab wounds had to be inflicted before he was struck on the head. So they're saying that he was stabbed and then struck on the head, not the other way around, like she said.
People.
That makes it, yeah. She was saying that Michael had a cut on his right palm and 3 fingers, defense wounds from the knife attack. So he couldn't have been knocked out because he wouldn't have fucking defense wounds. Obviously, it was one in the back and one in the front. She said that the injuries occurred so quickly that one person would not have been able to switch weapons before he hit the ground.
Got it.
That's what she said. She couldn't have been stabbing. He's blocking, and then they switched to another thing and hit him. That would have given him an opportunity to defend himself. It might have been different. She said these injuries were inflicted while he was standing, which was consistent with the way he crumpled down, which was how the people found him. Now, they want Harmon Olmstead to but he's not charged, by the way.
Nothing.
They have not charged him yet.
Holy
That's a big
shit.
thing. They have not charged him. They want him to testify as to what
that.
But they don't have any deal with him, or he hasn't flipped. They have nothing. They just are calling him to testify. I don't know, to try to make it look like he's lying. I don't know what their strategy is.
He's a dipshit if he wants to participate in this.
Well, he doesn't, because he doesn't show up to testify.
No.
He doesn't fucking show up.
He goes and visits another cousin.
He's got another cousin in New Mexico he's going to visit. Now, Judge Matthew Katz agrees to give him one more day to show up, or they'll put a warrant out for his arrest as a witness. The state also attempts to at this point, the state's case, they're trying to say that her original story about the assailant size, lack of gender, and direction they ran was all misdirection for the police, so that she was trying to cover it up. They're trying to prove there. Thursday in court, this is a Wednesday and a Thursday. Wednesday, Olmstead's supposed to show up, doesn't show up. Thursday, he shows up. He appears in court. He's worried about being arrested, refuses to testify.
Nothing.
Cites his constitutional rights against self-incrimination. Takes the fifth.
You betcha.
Which is a bad sign.
That's not good.
As well. Which, I mean, his lawyer might say, no matter what, you take the fifth, you go up there, they're just going to talk about the affair, they're going to make it look bad for you, blah, blah, blah. But still.
Very seldom in history has somebody claimed the fifth and weren't guilty of some shit.
Probably, but you were, well, a lot of people, a lot of, you just don't, most murder cases, you don't fucking testify.
Why would you
it's
want
just
to
bad.
Right.
It's just bad for you. On this, he's not even charged. So for him, it's like, what the fuck do I have to testify for? He just takes the fifth.
As far as I'm concerned, I wasn't even there.
Yeah, that's it. Also on that day, they talk about the life insurance and all that stuff in court and how it was raised. Now, her defense, her lawyer, Peter Langrock, he's going to be involved in this to the end here.
Why is everybody's name a euphemism for dicks?
Langrock. Peter Langrock, which you can kind of make Langcock also.
Yeah.
He was probably called Peter Longcock is what he goes by.
Sure.
That's his like screen name when he first got on
AOL.
Like AOL Messenger. Peter Longcock, yeah. That's what it is.
JD.
Yeah, that's right. Peter Longcock. So Peter Longcock here tells the court that the police were more interested in arresting Rebecca than finding the people responsible for this killing. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could say that if they arrested her like that day, but they waited 6 years. That's a pretty long time. Yeah. They didn't seem interested in arresting anyone.
No.
As his client or anybody fucking else.
They didn't seem to care about this case at all.
No. He said there's no way that Rebecca would kill the father of her children. He said, the lawyer Longcock here said, quote, "This is a case where the conclusion came first and the evidence came later."
Okay.
Longcock did acknowledge that Olmsted was, quote, a decent suspect.
Yeah.
He's a decent suspect. I mean, everybody saw him there. He had perfect reason. He threatened the guy. And, a lot of reasons, but, whatever. But he said the police were without any physical evidence to link him to the scene. He said that Olmsted can be considered a suspect because he was having an affair.
Yeah.
And that's all that was. And he'd been in a fight with him before, but he's like, you could consider that. But my client has nothing to do with that. Rebecca's just the one they're fighting over, and the one that nothing to do with that, obviously. So the prosecution actually does say, we know it's a circumstantial case, but we feel like the circumstantial case is overwhelming here.
Enough, right.
It's pretty fucking heavy. There was a witness who came forward, this is amazing here, to say that he knew where Olmsted was the night of the killing.
Yeah.
So they said they had a bench conference about this.
Was his last name Johnson?
Well, no. His last name was Dong, actually, which is, it wasn't even subtle. It wasn't even subtle. His
First name huge.
His name. I'm gonna go with Harry, but okay, fine. It's gonna go even less or even more juvenile, but whatever.
I'm just going with just straight up huge dong. Just testified.
Big dick swinging. That's his name.
This is ridiculous.
Apostrophe. Everything. So this witness at this point was the defendant's brother.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem here.
Right.
It's her brother. So
it's not
a great witness.
It's not getting yourself further away from the crime.
Yeah. Police said they've heard this rumor before, and they heard that there was an alibi and all that. But then the police uncovered substantial bank transfers from Rebecca to her brother after the killing, including a $10,000 check that said "Happy Birthday" on it.
What?
That's a hell of a sister.
You betcha.
Writing $10,000 birthday checks in 1985. Right. That's a lot of money in 85.
That buys you a new car in 85.
Absolutely. He also said that state police said the birthday check was actually for $20,000, not for the 10 that they had claimed, and that the total amount over 3 years was for $70,000.
Why?
She wrote him $70,000 worth of birthday checks in 3 years.
That's a lot of checks.
That's like, I mean, you could buy a murder for that much money.
You could
buy a killing for that kind of money. You could buy silence for that kind of money. You could buy an alibi for that kind of money. You could buy a Range Rover for that kind of money. You could buy a lot of things is what I'm getting
back then you might be able to get two.
You could probably get two. You could get a house for that back then.
For sure.
A good house. So the jury has 3.5 hours of deliberation only. 9 women, 3 men. They come back with a verdict here. And 3.5 hours, I mean, that's short.
Yeah, that's quick.
That's quick. They come back like OJ, that was fast. And they that was good for him. But this is not good for her. They find her guilty.
Oh boy.
They find her guilty of first-degree murder, which is it's rough.
It's steep.
She has some sort of attack here now and needs to be taken to the hospital.
Yeah.
She has a trauma attack. She complained of chest pains, difficulty breathing, which, you know what? Yeah, if you're
your husband.
He's got worse chest pains because he has 2 knife wounds in his. But yeah, I would say if you're guilty of first-degree murder, I think anybody would have that reaction. Probably that seems normal. So following this, her bail is revoked, so she's ordered held because up to this point she's been out during the trial on bail the whole time. And once she is discharged, she'll have to go to the correction center taken by guards and all that sort of thing.
Question: just because I don't know anything about the judicial system or how bail works, when your bail is revoked, they just give you back your shit.
If you have met the.
Right.
You didn't run away or anything. Right. Yeah, they give you your cash back.
Okay.
And your house is taken off the books. They don't hold that over you.
They keep like a restocking fee or some shit.
They probably should.
They probably should.
You put up 10, you get back $7,500. They're like, there's a lot of overhead here. Sorry, it's just a lot of papers. Right. You've been in the copy room. It's just a lot of paper there. The lie detector.
Took our lie detector.
You took it, right?
And now back to the show.
So now sentencing comes up. Now Longcock here, Peter Longcock says,
we just keep it going.
Fuck it, why call him Langrock?
There's no reason.
We gave him the real name.
Right.
It's out there. I'm calling him Longcock. It's way more fun. The fuck, man? We gotta have some joy in that. We're talking about murders and horrible shit. Longcock,
and he's happy with it.
He doesn't care. He'd be like,
Shortcock.
If you told him they're calling you Peter Longcock on there, he'd go,
You betcha.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. He wouldn't care.
He'd have flashbacks to the first chat room he was in.
Fucking know it. Like, that's right. Now they talk about before sentencing. Apparently, the Longcock says the state approached her to discuss her testimony, possibly against Harmon, in exchange for some consideration during sentencing. Okay. Now that she's convicted, she's kind of in a vulnerable place where
some chats.
She might want to have a deal. She refused, though. She said she wouldn't talk. She won't say fucking shit.
What?
So, she won't say a goddamn thing. Now, during sentencing, all of Michael Durenlow's family was there. Durenlow's family was there. Her sister was there. His sister was there. His sister, Rachel, read aloud in the court, and that's always rough. She said, quote, this is directly to Rebecca, quote, "We believe you are a sick and twisted person. How you have been able to live with yourself is beyond my understanding.
Oh boy.
There's no reason, no excuse in the world that could ever justify the brutal and vicious death our brother received. There isn't a prison sentence long enough that can remove the hurt our families have suffered, nor the hell that Mike went through, all because he loved you."
Yeah.
That's rough right there as a victim impact.
All
because he loved you.
Ouch.
So during this, before the judge gives sentencing here, she showed little emotion. She gives a statement. She said, quote, "I have gone through this for over 7 years, and I'm still going to prove my innocence until the day I die." So that's not what you want to do before sentencing, even though if you didn't say you didn't do it, you got to stick with it, I guess. Longcock said that he will appeal the murder conviction, and it's total bullshit. The whole thing. I picture him like a pirate now. Rebecca says, quote, "Before this case is over, we will be found not guilty of this charge," is what she says. Now, like we said, Harmon still not, Olmsted still not charged. Still goes home. Now, William Sorrell, the old DA there, he took another job since the case originally was in the year that's gone by between sentencing. He took another job. He comes back to talk to the jury about the sentencing, to jump back in the case. He says, quote, "This was the epitome of a premeditated, cold-blooded murder. Mrs. Durenlow is a murderer." At this point, Rebecca jumped up and screamed back at him, quote, "I am not a murderer," which Longcock had to hold her back and tell her to chill the fuck out.
Technically, hon, you are. Calm down.
Yeah. So apparently the chief court officer had to arrange for extra security, quote, because there was, quote, "so much anger and emotion through this whole trial." Apparently 10 officers were on hand for the sentencing, and everyone who showed up in the courtroom was searched. So searched beforehand. The judge said that he was still in doubt that she was the driving force behind the murder. He didn't know her role, but he did say, quote, "But we do know from the evidence that we do have a person who drove the victim a long way and positioned him at the lonely scene of death. Did it so skillfully and without any hesitation. You, ma'am, may fuck off. 35 years to life in prison."
That's steep. That's
she
good.
Gets that. Yeah, she's
it's a life sentence, but
she's like 42 years old, so that's a pretty good sentence there. 35 to life. By the way, Harmon was there for the sentencing, watching that whole thing because they had been living together until the trial started.
And he shit everywhere,
all over the place. It was terrible. So he said, the judge said that Katz here. He said he hoped the sentence would send a message to others that murdering a spouse to escape an unsatisfactory marriage carries severe consequences. The sister told the press, quote, "If you hated him so much, Becky, why didn't you just get a divorce?" Which that's
You've been
good point.
It. I've been through it.
Yeah, it happens.
Divorce.
It's rough. It sucks, but it's way better than killing the person.
Holy shit!
Because guess what? I got divorced. Now it's over.
Right.
If you kill the person, that's it forever. And especially you can't kill the parent of one of your fucking kids or two of your kids or any of that shit. That's insane.
That's crazy.
That's what crazy people do. I don't like them so much. It's okay that my kid doesn't have a father or a mother or whatever the fuck. fuck? That's nuts.
I'm going to likely get caught, and then I'm going to remove both their parents.
You don't give a shit about your kids at that point.
You don't care at all. All you care about is cock.
And if you don't have any kids, just fucking get divorced all day.
It's
Who
so
cares?
much cheaper.
Yeah, no one cares.
Oh, it's not going to cost anything.
You can get divorced all day long. Obviously, if there's an abusive situation, that's a difference. We're talking if everything's even.
Right.
Just get a fucking divorce.
Even
Who cares?
field, go see a lawyer.
Yeah, whatever it costs you, you'll make it back.
It's
Who
so
cares?
worth
it doesn't fucking matter.
You'll be fine.
So the state attorney declined to comment on whether Harmon would be charged with murder.
Yeah.
He's just said, quote, "We don't consider the investigation to be closed. We're obviously interested in bringing everyone to justice who is involved in the killing." Now, the sister, by the way, afterwards says to the press that her brother can finally rest.
Yeah.
Okay, now, that's not the end of it, by the way. By a fucking long shot. Okay. We have just begun to enter the crazy zone of just what the fuck is happening all the time here. Maybe for better, maybe for worse. We'll find out and let you guys be the judge
marriage.
here. Like marriage. This episode is like marriage, except better because it's funny. Anyway, January of 1993, she has a hearing for a retrial based on what they just talk about new evidence or evidence that was overlooked here. Okay. Now, the emotions are high. They do pat down body searches of everybody going into the court. They said, quote, "We had quite a problem with the families in the courtroom at the verdict and had some concerns because we knew both sides of the family would be back. It's just not for us to be the judge. It's just for everybody's safety."
Good God.
So, yeah.
Vermont's Hatfield and McCoy.
Yeah, I don't know. They were going to show up and kill this woman in court.
Fuck?
So, Longcock is still on the fucking scene here. Longcock is slinging that dick all over this courtroom. He says that the sledgehammer handle that was identified by prosecutors as one of the weapons used to kill Michael had been lost or destroyed before the trial began because it was 6 fucking years ago and they had a bunch of shit stolen.
But I've got something in my pants. It's about the same size.
Yeah, you can. Harmon, can we get Harmon up to Mr. Olmstead? Can you come up to the stand and slap that? There you go. Everybody take a look at that. Look at that. Well, very nice. Now, he also, Longcock contended that the murder weapon might have been a railroad switch handle found at the scene of the crime rather than the sledgehammer handle that the prosecutors say was brought there by Rebecca or Michael.
Those big metal things that operate. What the fuck?
So he's saying it could have been that, or it could have been this sledgehammer handle.
Thing would be crazy.
Yeah, he's saying that they brought the handle themselves, not just picked something up off the ground.
Got it.
He said that, quote, "The entire theory of the state's case is that this was a planned killing. If someone wanted to commit a homicide, wouldn't they bring a weapon with them? Well, they did have a knife that they stabbed him twice with.
Correct.
At the last minute, they might have been like, I should clonk him on the head first and then fucking stab him. It'd probably be easier. I'll stab him. Shit, he's putting his hands up. Let me knock him out. It'll be easier to stab him. Whatever the fucking case is here." So the state obviously concedes that the weapon had been lost in the 7 years. He said this is kind of a ballsy statement by the prosecutor that I don't really care for. Quote, "Where there is a failure to preserve evidence, the burden is on the defense to demonstrate bad faith. No. That has not been done."
That's not true.
That's probably legally true, but that's a load of shit.
How about the burden is on you to produce evidence that commits the...
Yeah, if we lose shit, it's up to you to fucking prove we lost it. I don't know. It's up to you to fucking prove it's there. What do I look like? I'm just the guy trying to put this person in jail for fucking the rest of their life.
With the burden of a fucking constitution.
Yeah, the burden of proof, actually, it's called, as a matter of fact. It's pretty clear. So I guess and it's different in an appeal situation. Now, he said that he was still considering charges against Olmstead. Now, the judge said he would rule on it in a short time, and he denies it. Okay. Denies the hearing for a new trial. So, no new trial right then.
Go back to jail.
Go back to jail. Back to the hospital and then to jail.
Right.
1994 comes around. July of 1994. Okay. This is, so now we're 9 years after the killings, but she's been in jail for almost 3 years at this point. She wants to go to her daughter's wedding.
No.
She's seeking a legal way to go to her daughter's wedding. She originally wanted to go to her son's graduation, and they said that she could, and then it got lost in the shuffle of the bureaucracy, and she never got to get out. So now she's seeking to go to the wedding of her daughter.
I can't believe this is the shit that happens.
This is crazy. Longcock, he says that he's worked it all out.
Yeah.
2 correctional guards have volunteered to accompany Durenlau to, what the fuck is she doing for these guys to volunteer from the prison to the wedding at the American Legion in St. Albans. Classy, you know it. Now, he says that...
they're great establishments for veterans, but
they're fantastic.
You can smoke indoors, and it is fucking
bring the kids.
horrible.
Everybody, bring the kids. So the prosecutor said it isn't that simple. She said that state employees would have to be paid, that they'd have to be on overtime. Longcock said that they'll pay for the employees' overtime. They don't care. They'll pay out of their pocket. They said that the prosecutor said that if Rebecca's allowed to attend the ceremony, she would have to wear prison chains and handcuffs. Now,
you want that guest at your wedding? Right.
I'm so happy for you, honey. Great.
You can't even clap.
This isn't a distraction at all.
Right.
This is much better than if you just weren't here.
You're chained to a folding chair.
Yeah, so... Longcock has the balls to then say that it would be a tragedy if Rebecca could not attend her daughter's wedding. The sister said the bigger tragedy was that Michael was murdered, and the real tragedy is that he's not able to walk his daughter down the aisle, not that she can't come to the fucking wedding.
She should have been forced to carry a ball and chain down the fucking
like an old-timey one? We're really into cartoons. That's just a real heavy one that says like 200 pounds on it. You know, she's
got to hold it and walk and waddle.
With it, just drag it behind her. So the estate's attorney here said that releasing her to go to a fucking wedding would send the wrong message to the public that, you know, you can just get out if you have personal problems. She's not in there on murder. She's not in there on tax evasion or some shit. So September 30th, 1994. This goes all the way to the state Supreme Court. Okay. The state acknowledges here, this is the opinion of the state Supreme Court. They say the state acknowledges that the evidence against Rebecca was entirely circumstantial, but they contend that the prosecution proved beyond a reasonable doubt that she procured, incited, or participated in Michael's murder.
Yes.
That's what they say. They also say the state is not required to exclude every reasonable hypothesis of innocence in proving a case with circumstantial evidence. So basically, they don't have to fucking go down every rabbit hole and find why somebody else isn't guilty. They just have to look at where the evidence is pointing and do that. They do say the evidence and inferences, however, must add up to more than mere suspicion. The jury cannot bridge evidentiary gaps with speculation, which is obvious. And they give several case law and the case law they cite, they're citing case law of like a guy went into a police station and was drunk and then left, and then 5 minutes later he was like sleeping on the side of the road and not in his car though, but his car was nearby, and would they charge him with a DUI because they knew he was driving when he showed up to the police station? So it's like that. Like, could they bridge the gap from him showing up at the police station to him getting there? And it's like, well, there's no other way the car would have got there with him. So
it's also a stretch in that you're comparing that to a fucking murder.
But it's a logic. It's a logic, a legal logic train is all it is.
Makes sense.
They also compared it to a man stealing a car and the car having the keys in it and him being found in the woods afterwards, but something happening in between. And could they say that he got from there to there without the car being messed with by stupid shit, legal mumbo jumbo. So anyway, they say that. Now, they said that, quote, if Olmsted had lain in wait and ambushed Durenlau, the only evidence of Rebecca's participation was the fact that the reconciliation celebration had been planned in advance and that she drove and parked behind the bar. This is all evidence is what this was called. That they stayed only briefly and that she did not immediately direct people to the rear of the building. They're saying that's the only evidence. Without additional evidence, the jury was left to speculate that the defendant and Olmsted had orchestrated the attack. The thin evidentiary record raises considerable doubt that the defendant assisted in her husband's murder. The jury may employ rational inferences to bridge factual gaps left by circumstantial evidence, but at some point rational inferences leaves off and speculation begins. In this case, a guilty verdict resulted from jury conjecture and speculation supplementing a meager evidentiary record of defendant's involvement in her husband's death. Defendant may have been happier without her spouse and may have unwisely continued to associate with Olmsted, a suspected murderer. but the evidence does not permit rational inferences sufficient to establish guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Therefore, we reverse the conviction and direct entry of a judgment of acquittal. We do not readily overturn a jury's determination, but this court cannot shrink from its duty to protect an individual's due process right to conviction only by evidence of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The evidence established that the defendant carried on an adulterous affair, wanted to leave her husband for Olmsted, was concerned about losing her house and children, lied when she denied knowing about an increase in her husband's life insurance, and said she would be better off if her husband's dead. Knowing of the mutual hostility between Olmsted and her husband, she threatened to start sleeping with her husband again unless Olmsted proved herself. The fatal trip to Veronica's was planned in advance, and defendant drove to the tavern and parked in the back. And they go through the whole thing. Then they even talk about an individual fitting Olmsted's general description and truck, similar to hers. His were seen in the area around the time of the assault. Rebecca failed to direct bar patrons to the right spot. Shortly after the killing, Rebecca and Olmsted were in regular contact, and Olmsted told the defendant that he had indeed, quote, proven himself.
Right.
After careful review of the record, in light most favorable to the state, we conclude that a jury could not properly find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Justices vote 5-0 to overturn the conviction. Not only overturn the conviction, but enter an acquittal.
Wow.
Therefore,
she is free.
And they even put the Constitution barring double jeopardy means that she is fucking free, clear, done. Never
she
to
could go
talk
out
about
tomorrow
that.
And say,
I killed him like a motherfucker. I stabbed him right in the face.
Those are dumb.
They did that. Now, Longcock's got some shit to say about this.
Of course he does.
Longcock is riding high right now. He's got a parrot on his shoulder. He's holding his sword up in the air.
He changed his name to Longcock.
He's got Longcock. He's just like, I am Peter Longcock now, and everyone's going to call me Longcock, or they're going to bow down before me.
I'm in porn now. I do not law at all.
Later on, he says that the most important case he's ever been in was the Rebecca Durenlau trial, a woman accused 7 years after her husband's death of hiring someone to kill him. He said even now the case makes his blood boil, makes Longcock's blood boil. He said the polygraph tapes came up missing, the evidence file came up missing. They reconstructed bits of evidence and convicted her as an accessory before the fact. She was sentenced to life. The Vermont Supreme Court found insufficient evidence and entered an acquittal. He said, quote, we were able to right an injustice. It's also a fun way to win. So he's just fucking psyched about this. It's a fun way to win. A fun way to win. Well, for him, he's like, famous. This is going to make me in this state. And this case, by the way, is so under the radar, man. Yeah. You cannot find shit on this case. Trust me, I looked. I found the court documents of it originally, and I'm like, well, I need a lot more than this. Yeah. And the only thing I found this was newspaper archives.
Sweet
I mean, there is
Christ.
Nothing like that's Googleable. It's like I have archive sites that I'm pay to be a member of and shit, and that's the only way to find all of this crazy shit.
We don't even get to call her a murderer anymore.
No, that's what I mean. This is crazy.
That is fucked up.
A small town murder occurred. Yeah. Now, William Sorrell, the chief prosecutor here from back then, he's fucking pissed.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's super pissed.
And his family is even more mad.
Durenlau. They're so, dude, they were fucking livid. They're like, this is ridiculous. They had so much security at court. They were scared that the family was going to kill her. Like, they were so fucking mad. They were making all these statements about, they were pissed.
Oh boy.
As you can imagine. Yeah. He says his statement on this, the old prosecutor said, quote, there was enough evidence for 23 grand jurors to vote to indict her. There was enough evidence for one of the state's most outstanding trial judges, and there was enough evidence for 12 members of the jury. The unanimous decision of 12 jurors is all for naught. I feel sorry for the victim's family.
No doubt.
No shit. So, bad stuff, obviously. Yeah. This whole fucking thing going on.
It got botched so poorly, so badly.
This got fucked up so bad. And the messed up part is, and there's more, by the way, the messed up part about this whole thing is who the fuck knows? But they're saying, this is so weird, they're saying, and the state is, the defense and the state are both saying the same thing. The defense is saying, well, it's probably Harmon Olmsted that did it, but she had nothing to do with it. But do you think that he would kill? They seemed tight. I don't think that he would kill her husband without her knowing about it,
or without her guidance and help and and approval. You know,
well, how would he know that they're going to be parked in the back of a dark fucking parking lot? This is what I mean. If
Unless
the defense
he wandered around and traced them all night.
This is what I mean. The defense's theory, to me, gives more evidence to her guilt.
Right.
If the defense's theory was there was a stranger, Michael had gotten in an argument with a guy at work 3 weeks ago, something like that, at least that's something that you could say is possible. But they're saying that this Harmon Olmsted, with no help from Rebecca, knew everything that was going on, knew when they were going to be there, knew that they'd leave after 15 minutes and half a fucking beer.
Right.
Like, why would they abruptly leave? They didn't even finish their beers.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. If you go to a bar and you have a beer, you don't leave without finishing your beer.
Driving 30 miles to go have a drink?
You'd be like, I'm finishing this fucking beer. Like, it had to be like, we have to leave right now.
Right.
Like, I don't like this place or whatever it is. We have to leave right fucking now.
John Goodman's character in The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
I'm finishing my coffee. I'm staying.
Exactly.
Like basic fucking freedoms, James.
That's basic fucking freedom. No, that's what it is, man. And instead, she brought him outside. She drove there. She did all of that. The guy looking for a piece, something else to clock him with, driving around the lumberyard. There's so much circumstantial evidence. I don't know if you convict somebody on that much circumstantial evidence, but if your fucking theory is that this other guy did it, then she was with him.
Right.
There's no way that he did this without her.
Right.
So that's my point. If that's the defense's theory, that's the worst, stupidest fucking theory I've ever heard.
It's fucking bananas. And Sweet Pete, the whole fucking family gets no justice. And it's the most Sweet Pete fucking episode we've ever done.
Well, Jesus Christ, 6 years go by where they get nothing, and then finally they arrest this woman for right or for wrong. The family's happy that there's wheels moving, and based on the evidence, they think it's a pretty good chance that, because they didn't know about the affair and all that shit. That all came out afterwards. The way they looked at it was, oh, they're a nice couple, and oh no, what happened? And then they're like, wait a second, she's having an affair with this fucking guy, and they're planning on being, whoa. Once the evidence started coming out, they started thinking, this is a different fucking person, because she was at the memorial for him, and they were all hugging and kissing and all that shit, and oh God, who could have done this? And so, I mean, it's fucking crazy.
There are 5 years of Dateline episodes that are exactly like this, and the woman goes to prison with zero. I mean, with
this is nuts.
With similar evidence, and she stays.
And how many men go to prison? Everybody, the gender doesn't matter here. It's a matter of we've seen this as enough evidence for people to be convicted all the time,
and for justice.
I don't know if it is, but like I said, if your theory is that he did it, well, then you did it too.
Right?
Don't offer a different theory if you don't want to believe that.
And it's gone through the court system and justice served, you know?
Yeah.
And then the justices in their Supreme Court overturn it and acquittal. Like, that's the crazy part.
Yeah,
at least give the state the chance to...
Not even vacating the judgment, and they could have had a retrial or whatever they could have done without the double jeopardy deal, but they could have refiled different charges or something.
Give the state the opportunity to at least make a better case then.
No, this was... This is
fucking bananas.
They just flipped it, acquitted, no double jeopardy. I mean, they were so clear in the language of you are free, lady. Go free and
go get all the cock.
Yeah, go multiply. Be fruitful and multiply.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. So now we go to May 1998. Let's go to there. May 1998. She's
several years later.
Several years. She's been out of prison for almost 4 years. She is not Rebecca Dorenlau anymore. She's now Becky Berard. She's going by.
Okay. She's been married?
Apparently she's married. Becky Berard is her new name.
Clearly married somebody at IBM.
Yeah, you know it. Yeah, with a B name, obviously. So, and she's going by Becky Berard. She got a very good job at IBM.
Rebecca.
They said, you got to be Becky from now on.
All B's around here.
So Becky Berard, she's out there. May 1998, Essex police say they received an emergency 911 call from a bicyclist about a domestic dispute between a man and a woman in a parked car near the West Street extension. Okay. The couple had been drinking, and they were fucking basically having a drunken fight in a car.
Beautiful.
At that point. The cops come, they pull these two fucking idiots out of the car. Becky said she had 5 drinks. Oh boy. 5 drinks.
And was driving?
And was in the car.
Okay.
You can't do that. That's not okay. You can't.
Illegal.
You can't be in your car with the keys after you had 5 drinks.
Right.
That's just not okay. So, at that point, she tells the cop that it's okay. A friend's coming to pick me up. It's all good. I'll be fine. So about 15 minutes. So they said, okay, fine.
Yeah.
You guys everything's settled down here. Everything's cool.
That's how small towns operate.
Yeah, literally, they were like, you guys cool? Because, I mean, they weren't punching each other.
Right.
They were just arguing.
Got it.
And so So, they were like, is everybody calmed down now? And they're like, no, we're fine now. We were arguing. We got over it. I had 5 drinks. We're a little drunk and we know it. It's all good. Friends coming to pick me up. It's all straight. And they were like, all right, you two have a good night. Just a fun-loving married couple out having a good time, gotten a little row. You know how that goes. So they just go back to their police work, hanging out till about 15 minutes later, when this police officer said he spotted the 1993 sedan that she was driving, headed along Pearl Street, weaving between the 2 lanes.
Perfect.
So the cop pulled the car over, but she didn't fucking pull over.
No.
She keeps driving for about 1.5 miles before stopping. But she didn't speed. She just drove more. She was just like, if I just drive enough, they'll go away. They'll get bored and leave, I think, right? Yeah,
are they flashing their blues at me?
It's okay.
Their headlights are so bright in my mirror.
I hate when they do that. It's so fucking annoying. It's the worst. So she is just driving, so the cops are following behind her like this fucking drunken asshole.
She's gonna go around.
Yeah.
I'm only going to do the speed limit.
Amazing. Friends, this cop was let you go.
Yeah.
Could have fucking been a dick
Just
about
get a
it.
friend.
And didn't. Even not at public intoxication. Nothing. Just said, good deal. Get your friend to drive you home. You folks have a good night.
Right.
And this fucking asshole has to be a dick about it. And now next time, that cop's going to be a dick to somebody and not give them the fucking benefit. You ruined it for everybody, asshole. This is what fucking happens. The world could be so fucking great if winks and nods could be just done by everybody. But they can't, because some people are not an adult enough to handle a wink and a nod and do shit that you're not supposed to do, but we all know it's fine.
Yeah.
They have to take advantage of it and be cocks.
Nobody's been hurt yet. Just get out of here.
That's
and instead she's like, maybe someone will get hurt.
It's like school. So that used to drive me nuts in school. You'd have a teacher who was cool, and they would let people get away with little shit. And you could you could take an extra hall pass and go and then somebody would fuck it all up, and then they'd be dicks, and you'd be like, you motherfucker, you ruined it.
Off campus smoking a cigarette with a hall pass. It's
you ruined it.
You jerk
everybody.
Off.
Yeah, and they blame the teacher when they got caught doing something. Well, he let me out here. Don't tell them that. We're all, God damn it.
Tell them you stole it, you dipshit.
Yeah, fuck, have some balls. So anyway, finally, after about 1.5 miles, they stop. She ends up getting arrested for DWI again. So this is her second. So she's got 2 DWIs and an on and off murder.
You bet.
So not bad. This is following a report of later on, she ends up having another report of a little domestic dispute between her and her husband, Leon.
They love hard.
Leon Berard. There. She pleads innocent to having a blood alcohol level of 0.157.
That's
so
enough.
Almost 0.16, which is basically double the legal limit in most places. When she was driving, she has a 1979 DWI conviction, and based on the fact that she had a previous one, even though it's 15, 17, 20 years, 19 years in the past, and she has one now, she's released from court from this, but with orders not to buy, drink, or possess alcohol of any single kind anywhere.
Okay.
So that's what happened to her. That's the last I've heard of her.
Oh my God.
I cannot find her. I mean, I didn't really look. I'm not going to hunt this woman down on social media and be like, oh, there she is. She's on Twitter. Go fucking break her balls.
Right.
Like, we don't know what the fuck happened, but Jesus Christ, make your own fucking conclusions. I mean, we normally don't do cases like this. We normally do a case where it's pretty clear what the fuck happened. But this is a case where it's a this is some small town shit.
And our man is not charged either?
Never charged.
What the fuck, James?
Harmon never was charged. He never sat through a significant interrogation. Nothing. Harmon just skated. He just went, I don't know, wasn't me, and went to fucking, and never, nothing. He went to court. They never made him testify. They didn't force him because they could have forced him to testify based on like what they do with fucking the reporters who won't reveal sources, hold him in contempt until he decides to testify if they decide he's a material witness type of thing.
Right.
But instead, they let him plead the fifth. They let him take the fifth, and they fucking let him do his thing. And he never got charged, man. I mean, I don't know what happened with their relationship in the
it
time.
It clearly disintegrated.
It disintegrated. Yeah, it didn't work out. But
maybe it's best we don't see each other because that's a problem.
Yeah,
you know, that looks bad.
We get together, it's obviously bad. Murder happens, so
it's volatile.
But yeah, it's so fucking strange. But this is as small town as it gets. They let it go for 6 years, and they're like, "Oh, she's fine," and then they end up. It's so weird. They convict her, but it's weird, and it's all. people are fucking and there's life. It's so weird, man.
So many cocks in the story.
There's so many cocks and long cocks, and yeah, she's a dick too. Either way, I feel bad for the kids that they had, the Jennifer and Jason there. They had it rough. I mean, Christ almighty. When that was going on, by the way, the trial was going on. Jennifer was, 18, 17. She's in fucking high school. Imagine being a junior or senior in a small town where your mother is on trial for murdering your dad for fucking life, and that's a big deal around there.
She went through high school with her mom accused of murder and then convicted of it. Yeah. And the son went through high school also with a mom behind bars before she gets on.
Just right at the last minute there. It's fucking nuts.
Both of them.
The whole thing, I feel bad for them. They lost their dad, and now they don't know if their mom killed their dad, which is also kind of creepy. When she gets out of prison, is it just like, Mom, welcome home, or is it like, did you what happened? I guess you just have to just believe that it's fine.
I mean, if the courts say that's what happened,
that's what happened. Mom said she didn't do it, so I don't know. But that is Essex, Vermont. That is the clusterfuck of Essex, Vermont.
Jesus.
And like I said, we're going to visit Vermont a couple more times in the near future. Not right away, but there's a couple of batshit crazy. There's one case where literally I was like, I need more than a week to research this case. Yeah. So I have to do it another time. Maybe we'll do it as like a special sometime or something, because it's insane. Not like a long one, but a special episode. Yeah. It's a batshit case about it's crazy. So Vermont, I don't know what you people are doing up there. I don't know what you're putting in the syrup.
We know you're fucking.
You're fucking, and you are making some weird cases of murder.
Sex is in the name of this town, for Pete's sake.
It is. It's Essex, baby. Essex. That's what they were doing back in England. The Earl of Essex was getting the fuck down with his powdered ass face. That's Essex, Vermont, and that is the Durenlau tragedy with Harmon the dick slinging fucking Olmsted, and of course Peter Longcock.
You betcha.
That's our cast of characters tonight. That is Small Town Murder. If you enjoyed that show, there is something you can do to prove it. You can go to iTunes or Apple Podcast or whatever the fuck, or whatever platform you listen on. Give us 5 stars. Tell us you're following instructions, following directions. It really doesn't matter. It's not for us. It's not for our egos. It's just for business. We need it bad. Check out shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your merchandise, your t-shirts, your everything you can get there, and especially those damn tour tickets. Pick those up today. We're coming somewhere near you, unless you live in like Oklahoma.
It's gonna land.
Well, then we'll be in Texas. Drive to Texas.
Come on down.
Unless you're in North Dakota, then you can. No, you can't drive to Minnesota because that show's sold out already.
You
Minnesota.
Come on over to Seattle or Portland.
Yeah, you fuckers in Minnesota will do anything indoors in the winter. Let me tell you that shit. That shit went up, and it's like it's in December, end of November or some shit, and I think it's in December.
It is.
It's like December 11th or some shit.
December 17th.
Sold out in sold out in like 5 days.
6 days. Sold the fuck out.
They're like, it's going to be freezing out. Get tickets. They have heat in that place. I've been there. There's heat in there. So thank you, Minnesota.
Heat and seats. Let's go.
Oh, Minnesota, we're psyched to see you guys, because you guys are so psyched for us to come, and you're buying the tickets, and we love it. So get your tickets now. Do that. All the tour dates are on there. We have the links to all where it's not going to overcharge you and that sort of thing. If you want to be an even bigger hero, you can stay on Shut Up and Give Me Murder. Head up to the donation link, and you can follow that link over to patreon.com/crimeinsports, where you can make a donation, or head over to PayPal. Use our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com. You can make a one-time donation there. If you want to contact the show, very easy, at Small Town Murder on Instagram, Murder Small on Twitter, and Small Town Pod on Facebook. And never mind all that shit, Jimmy, because we've told a murder. We've told about a crazy story. We don't know what the fuck happened. But you know what we do know happened?
I do know what happened.
We know that a bunch of people were really fucking awesome to us and helped us keep the lights on this week. And why don't you go ahead and tell me about these fine people, Jimmy?
This week's executive producers are Ann Spence, Jenny Lynn Bertolo, Pamela Rogers, Devin Resnikoff. I don't want to fuck that up.
No, get it right.
Rachel Smolsky. Yes. No. Yes, it's Rachel Smolsky.
Yes. No.
Or Smokesky.
Yeah.
Is it Smokesky?
I don't know. Well, thank you.
I'm
so
sure
much.
And then Ryan Hagan. Thank you guys so
Thank
much
you.
for being absolute heroes this week.
You are our
you
heroes.
Guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
The remainder of heroes are David Clark, Jessica Leitke, Daniel C. with no last name, just C. That's good enough.
That's cool.
Mariah Menhir, Yvonne Abrahantes. I wanted to get that right, and I think I fucked it up.
You think? It sounded confident.
I hope so. Confident never means right.
No, not at all. But it still sounds, everyone who, except for that one person, will think you were right.
Right. Stacey Roy, Heather Rylander. She's terrific. She helps other podcasts with their research, too. She's
cool.
a good person. Thank you,
nice.
Heather.
Good for her.
Gretchen Oswald, Lorraine Tuxon. Yes, Tuxon. I think so. Touchson.
Touchson?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Tuckskin.
Yeah, Tuckskin. I don't know. So, Lorraine, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Rob Roberts, Cody Hargo, Jen Bass, or Bass. It's probably Bass. Jesse Hartman, again, the dude fucking comes through every week.
God, it's amazing.
Jenny Edwards, Kelly Robinson, and then James Fraker, a new one that keeps showing up quite a bit. Laura Souter, Jamie Pickle, that's for sure, right?
That's cool.
Kelly Higby, Kate Ives, every week with her and the other Kate, I forget her last name.
And Kelly, too.
We'll find her in a sec. Yep.
Kelly, too. Thank you.
Ashley Vietri, Jillian Tuba, Wesley Thacker, Tom Kopzinski.
Oh, nice. I like the name.
No. It's probably not right.
No, it's a solid name, though.
Sasha Medina, Christian Parrott, Carl Rogers, Ariana Folsom. She's fantastic. I got to talk to you about something with her, too. She's, whatever. She's wonderful.
We'll get into it.
Reza W. Reza.
W.
Yes.
Like you won.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what that is.
That's exactly
Somebody's
what
fucking
that
with me?
Yeah,
I
think they're a Cubs fan.
Maybe.
Yeah,
or it's a person.
Or,
I bet it's a person, and then now we've insulted them.
Maybe.
Risa, I'm so sorry. It might be Risa. Who knows? James Lamb, Shannon Feltus. She's been around a long time. It's hard to make fun of that last name.
Yeah,
anymore.
At this point, we're just so happy to have you here.
Kate Myers, that was the Kate, I think yes, that's definitely her. Kate Myers and Kate Ives have been around for several weeks, and they're fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Marissa Oman Hughes, Martina Kunkel, Elisa Carlson, Joe Hung Lo. Nope, probably not true.
I would say no.
Probably fucking with me.
I'm going to go with fucking with us on that one.
Might be an Asian guy that's just like you guys are dicks.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Jake LeBeer, Iana Nelson. She's wonderful in New Orleans. She's terrific. She's like a fucking bookworm that does legislation work or something like that. She's great. She's wonderful.
Awesome.
John Bowden, and that may be Bowden, but Bobby Bowden fucked your name, brother. Sorry. Lauren Demarath, Alexander Golomis. Yeah, Lauren Demarath is the one from Chicago that her name sounds like a drug. You said
Demarath.
She messaged me and was like, I get to be a drug. That's
20
great.
cc's of Demarath.
She's jacked about it.
Stat.
Alexander Golomis. Golimus? Maybe. Golimus. Azra Begovic. Under the Sea Fabrics. Every week
best
she's around.
too. Thank you.
Bunny Blush. I think that's like some sort of product too.
Okay.
Do you put blush on your bunny? It's probably a person.
I would assume it's blush that's been experimented on with a bunny.
Kelly Miller, Crystal Gennaro. She's the one that's fucking air traffic control.
Yes, she's
amazing.
cool. Thank you, Crystal.
Danielle Graham, Jenna Fairbanks, Jason Hamming donated twice. One on Patreon, one on PayPal.
Amazing.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Jamie Finch, CJ. James is a butterface. What the fuck? Why would you do that?
I don't know.
James is handsome as fuck, man. Have you seen my friend? CJ, come to a live show and say that to his face. You won't do it. I guarantee.
No.
CJ might be huge. I might start a fight right now.
That's all right.
CJ.
I don't care.
James is handsome. Fuck you. Matthew Dietrich.
Maybe his last name is James.
It's definitely maybe he's the
CJ James is a butter.
Right.
Maybe that's what he said. I have no idea.
I doubt it. He's being a dick. This CJ. Aaron Anderson, Ellie Guzman, Bryant Toole, Amanda McKelvey, Jess with no last name, Jessica Manor, Janice Hill, Karen Farnsworth, Teresa Gouland, Jason. No, it's Joshua. That is Joshua, not Jason. Joshua Doyle, Jessica Dowd, Kiko, Omar White, JD. Oh, that dude's a lawyer. Thank you, Kiko.
Thank you.
That might be a woman. No, it's Omar, middle name.
Okay, yeah.
Who knows? That might be a Wire reference.
You
I don't even know
That's
anymore.
The thing. Yeah,
this is
who
fucking
knows?
crazy.
Jesus, it's gotten out of control.
Michelle Smith, Mike Gibson, Justin Suter. Yes, Justin Suter. Nick Eddy. Vita Muerta, who is a cosplayer and model.
Cool.
Good for you, Vita. What is that? Vida is what word? I don't know what that is in Spanish. I just know muerte is death, which is fucking creepy. Christopher Brooks.
I think Vita's life.
Is that it? Life,
yeah.
Life and death. Boom. You nailed it. My man.
Yeah. I know Italian, so I can get a Spanish word if you talk slowly.
Yeah. Becky Pantuso, which sounds like underwear. Leah Maddox. Rebecca Doe. Charlene Ramler. Melissa Roker. Damian Palmer. Fuck, how did I do this? Candace Kennedy and Michaela. Thiviergi. No, it's not right. Michaela, I'm so sorry.
We tried.
I even fucking put somebody else's name in between it so that I could try and get a good running start at it, like Evel Knievel.
Little sorbet on the palate there.
Right, and I still hit the bus. God damn it. I'm so sorry. And thank you guys so much. We love you.
Thank you, folks, so much.
You're amazing.
You are amazing. You really, really, really make this a thing. You make this worthwhile with all the frustrations we have and we bitch about once in a while on the business end and, being young Motown singers turned upside down and having the chain shaken from our pot. Yeah, one thing stays the same. You guys keep us afloat. Right. You keep us our heads above water. You quite literally keep the lights on and the mics fucking hot. You guys we appreciate that.
You guys jam cash in our socks so they can't shake that out of our pockets.
But you do.
It's fucking great.
And we fucking appreciate the hell out of it. So thank you, everybody, for everything that you do for us always, your donations, your talking about us, anything you can do to help us. We appreciate it. And what if they wanted to help you, Jimmy? What if you were in need? How could they get a hold of you?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. You guys telling us everything about your lives and involving yourselves in this is what makes this special to me. So thank you guys so much. And happy birthday, Amy Pohanik.
Oh, yeah, Amy.
This week coming
happy
up.
birthday.
It's a few days away, but whatever.
Yeah, well,
happy birthday, Amy. We'll see you in Denver.
Definitely we'll see you in Denver. Thank you.
What about you?
You can find me at Jimmy P is funny. Find me over there and say hello. And I seriously love that you guys say nice things or say anything at all and give a shit to come hang out with us and everything like that. Thank you guys so much. Really, we're pricks and we're assholes and we know that for a fact, but we actually really do like you guys and we really do appreciate that you want to hang out with us. So thank you so much.
You guys alert us to so many things that we didn't know about, like the list from BuzzFeed that just the things that you guys send to us are heads up enough for us to actually feel good about ourselves.
They are.
And it feels like we're doing something here, and it's because of you.
Yeah, and thank you to all the English folks out there who gave us soccer teams to root for.
I love Liverpool.
We appreciate that. I guess I'm a Chelsea guy now. They sent Andrew Bailey convinced me. He sent me all the he sent me pictures of the uniforms and everything. He's like, the tall dude looks sharp in this shit. I'm like, all right, the dark, because it's like a royal blue. Yeah, and I half my shit's like royal blue. I like the blue.
Liverpool's very maroon, but it's got it's got a nice teal around.
I saw it's pretty dope. No, that's dope too. But I'm gonna go with Chelsea. I feel like if I might change my mind. I'm not locked into Chelsea yet. I'm gonna have to look into them a little bit.
You might like Juventus also because they've got that Ronaldo fella, and so that's
an English team. Is that an English team?
Italian?
Yeah, I don't want English. I gotta go into the English team right now because that's what everybody follows, and the other shit I can do on the side.
I'm running with Liverpool because I hate the fucking Beatles, and it feels good to support something from that fucking town.
I got you. Yeah, I'm trying. If you have a better team, I think people have been trying to. Everton is one they keep suggesting to me also, so I have to look into Everton. Yeah. But as of right now, I'm supporting Chelsea, and I'm going to learn their songs, and I'm going to go fucking kick someone in the head for no reason just because they like the other team.
I'm sure Liverpool is a Beatles song.
Jimmy,
whatever
watch
their
out.
Fight song is.
As soon as I hit stop on this, I'm kicking you out of your chair, so watch out, you Liverpool motherfucker. With that said, everybody, until next week, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.